Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. This is Manchester United versus Tottenham. Live watch along on the United Stand. Strap yourselves in, not on, and get ready for the next few hours of Manchester United fan review, reaction, and all that. We'll talk transfers as well. Of course, we'll talk about bloody transfers. I mean, what else are we going to talk about? But I just want to say this is a massive game of football as well. I'm massively excited about it. Probably more excited when the game kicks off. I still think the enormity of it maybe not be resonating as much as it should be with United fans, because any other time of the season, Solskjaer versus Mourinho, we've already lost the game this season. We're not playing particularly well. Spurs are playing quite well. This would be, we would have been building to this all week. As I said last night, we would have done combined 11s. We would have made a big deal of Mourinho versus Solskjaer. But the transfer landscape has just smothered it, really. But it's a huge game, it really is. And, regardless of what's going to happen tomorrow, and I will say this to you, tomorrow is going to be crazy. Don't think you know what's happening tomorrow, because you don't. And I'm not saying that I do. I remain in the 90% club. That's all I can say about that. But I think that there's a lot more going to go on than that. So tomorrow is going to be very interesting, maybe even from tonight. But for the next few hours, there's no way United are about to announce anything significant. They've got a very big game of football to play tonight, of course. So team news is about to come in, probably about 5 minutes away from the team news. There is a leaked team, and that's the team that I've put up there, so hopefully that's going to be correct. Arsenal are playing some really good football since Arteta has been there. They look really bright, says Red Baron. Come see, come sa. I've got them on the telly at the moment, and first half they were, their fans were moaning. So I don't know. I don't know that I agree with that. I mean, Sheffield United are a very bad side. They've beaten Fulham, who are a very bad side as well. So look, Arsenal, I thought the first goal from Saka was good, but I don't necessarily agree that that they've been amazing. They're there. We've got to get past them, and they've had a better summer than us. I would agree on that. Hi Mark, can you give a shout out to my little boy Callum? He's 10 today. Here's to a United win, hopefully, says Carl Jolly. Big shout out to Callum. Happy birthday, mate. And look, we're all hoping for a Manchester United win today and a win tomorrow. Let's get Sancho and a couple of others in tomorrow and start building a future and a season in the way as United fans all want to happen. So let's see how that goes. But team news is not quite with us yet. Lots of people saying happy birthday to Callum, which is very, very nice. What's your thoughts on the game today? I know a lot of you are going to want to talk about a few bits around transfers, and we have got a little bit of an update on Alex Telles to discuss, of course. But I think that Alex Telles is set to join Manchester United tomorrow, is what I'm getting there. But the team I'm getting is De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Bailly, Maguire, Shaw, Matic, Pogba, Bruno, Greenwood, Martial, Rashford, which is the team I'd predicted, and it is the team that I think most people would go with. Of course, you could put Henderson in goal, and of course you could put De Gea in goal. But I think that realistically, I don't have a massive issue with that team on my left. I think it's the right team to go with today. I personally don't think it's time for De Gea to be left out of the team. And I think that there is a rumour that Bailly and Son, that Son start. So that Son is starting for Spurs, which that would be a typical Jose Mourinho thing, and that to me would make it even more important that Eric Bailly starts, because Eric Bailly actually has a little bit of pace and Lindelof doesn't. But this has been long overdue. If we get that confirmation in the next 60 seconds from the official Manchester United account that Eric Bailly has started, then this would be a journey that many United fans have wanted for a long time. I remember Bailly playing against Chelsea back in February, and we won the game, and it was a league game, and it was a tough game, and he played very well. The very next game, I can't remember who we played. I mean, it certainly wasn't a team of the quality of Chelsea, and Victor Lindelof walked straight back in the team, and a lot of people were confused with that, even though it seemed to be what Ollie's plan was. But if the reality is that Victor Lindelof is fit, and if he is not picked, then Ollie has sent out a very good message that this is the team that he wants to start picking. And I for one think we needed a centre back. Of course we did, but if you're not going to get a centre back, then you've got to look at what's your best pairing as centre backs, and that to me would be Eric Bailly and Harry Maguire at this moment in time. Look, I don't think Maguire gets off with it. By the way, I don't think there's a huge world of difference between Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof. I really, really don't. And I think anybody who thinks that there is wrong. You know, let's think back to that game against Spurs back in June, and Harry Maguire got turned by Bergwijn, didn't he? So team news is about to come in. Let me just get this up for you, and then we'll talk about the Spurs team news. We will talk about Alex Telles. There is a talk of United having a bid rejected for around 15 million that they're going to have to go back in. I mean, basically, in relation to transfers at the moment, United are hoping that Dortmund are going to back down on Sancho. We're going to back down to Roma on Smalling. We're going to have to pay up what Porto want because they won't back down. And we're the only club that will pay Cavani all that money. So at the moment, we're not bending down. We're backing down to absolutely everybody. But look, tomorrow's another day. Let's see what happens with regards to that one. But team news should be coming in for you. I've not got it yet, and I don't know why. They haven't posted it yet. But they're normally a little bit quicker than this, Manchester United. I don't know what's going on here. Here we go, starting 11. And it is as we've predicted. De Gea, Bailly, Maguire, Shaw and Wan-Bissaka as our back five. Matic and Pogba, Greenwood, Bruno, Rashford and Martial. On the bench, obviously Dean Henderson, Victor Lindelof, Fred, Lingard, Mata, McTominay and Van der Beek. No place for Ighalo, no place for Dan James. And yet again, I think what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is doing here is, I mean, off the bench, really, in attacking options, there is nobody. There is no attacking option on that bench. And this is obviously a lack of trust in Ighalo to not even put him on the bench because there is no striking option on the bench. He's basically picked 5 midfielders and 1 defender. So Fred, Lingard, Mata, McTominay and Van der Beek. I mean, to me, that just shows an imbalance in his options. I think he's made a mistake there. I know he might not trust Dan James, but maybe he's sending a message to Dan James. You know, you could have gone. You've said you want to stay. You're not part of my plans. Because I don't know why Dan James wouldn't be on the bench today. To me, Fred, Lingard, Mata, McTominay and Van der Beek is overkill in the midfield. What one of those players could play up front or off the right wing or the left wing? I mean, technically Mata does play off the right wing and I think Lingard can play just about off the left wing, but none of them can play up front. So it just shows that lack of Sancho, that lack of a striker, which obviously we expect to get with Cavani. So the team news is that. But look, the main thing is the first team. And I'm happy with that. Thank you for the super chats that are coming in. Big Josh says, Arsenal in a similar situation to us. Kroenke don't care about the club. And then it will get pinned on Arteta. It's not fair. Kroenke out, Glazers out. You've got all your wish with Bailly now. This ain't to reserve Brighton or Luton. Let's see today. I have a feeling how it's going to go, says Sean Negative Turner. Come on United, Smash Spurs. Xhaka and Pepe on target. Viva Arteta, says Zayn Miasi. And Mark, please give a shout out all the way from your second home, Dublin, says Damien Heffernan. And thanks for the super chat from Mark Scannell. Thanks everyone who's doing those. You can do that by clicking the $sign, of course, and we'll give them a readout. Also, what was I going to say? Subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. We're only 100 away from 857,000, so please subscribe if you're new. The big news on the Spurs side, and we mustn't gloss over this. It's a big shock, and it certainly makes the game harder. Jose Mourinho and another one of his Jedi mind tricks that Son, who was meant to be out for quite a while, actually starts for Spurs today. And I think I'd say Jose knew this last weekend that Son wasn't going to be out for a very long time. Obviously went off at half time against Newcastle. Mourinho came out and said expect to see him back after the international break. Didn't play in either of the Carabao Cup or Europa League games, but starts for Spurs today. I like Son. I mean, it's not breaking news. A lot of people do. But when he was injured, I was like, I don't wish players injury, and I certainly don't wish someone like Son an injury because I actually really like him. But I instantly thought where Spurs have had a lot of success this season is the transition from back to front is quite quick. That little raking ball over the top for Son to sprint through to has caused people a lot of problems. And defensively, we're going to have to be very careful about our defensive line. Eric Bailly is going to be very, very important today and his recovery pace. And Wan-Bissaka needs to have a big game. So the Spurs team is Lloris, Aurier, Dyer, Sanchez and Reguilon. So Reguilon's going to be playing up against Greenwood. Højbjerg, Sissoko and Dembele, Lamela, Son, Kane. So no starting place for Lucas Moura. Steven Bergwijn, I think, must have an injury because he's not even on the bench. Harry Winks is on the bench, which I think is a mistake by Mourinho, but there you go. And Doherty not starting is a bit weird, but maybe that's because of fatigue from playing all the games they've played over the last week. I don't rate Eric Dyer at centre-back either, so I think that there's definitely options for Manchester United. I look at that Spurs game and I retain a level of confidence that I think we can win this game. I think we have to win this game. I do think we have to win this game. So I have got concerns about the game. I think it's going to be very, very tough, but we got to win the game. And that's what it is. Adnan, that is the starting lineup next to me on the left-hand side. So Eric Bailly does start, and Son starts for Spurs. Bruno needs to help out Matic and Pogba when we're in possession. He can't stay forward and only come back when he loses the ball. 4-2-1-3 not working. Ernest, have you not watched United for the last few weeks, Ernest? I've seen Bruno Fernandes tracking back deeper than Scott McTominay against Palace. So, Mark Lingard starting guarantees United a win, says Psalms. He's not starting. And a lot of people say no Van der Beek. I'm not surprised, Henry. I'm not surprised. Where does Van der Beek start in that team? And I know everyone wants Van der Beek to start, and I like Donny Van der Beek, but you've got to drop Pogba or Bruno. Are you seriously going to drop Bruno Fernandes after what he did last week? He's our most important player. So you're going to drop Pogba or Van der Beek. And, I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to drop Paul Pogba. So where do you play Van der Beek? We can't start playing a diamond formation, which isn't Ollie, just to accommodate a player that you want to play. So I'm not surprised that he's not starting. A lot of people might say, well, Henderson deserves to start. For me, not quite. He's putting a lot of pressure on De Gea, but what's De Gea done to be dropped? I haven't seen a player deserve to be dropped yet. So I think Ollie's got that team right, apart from the fact that Lindelof got dropped. Been hit with a wave of positivity with Sancho deal, but these hopes normally fade with time. Let's hope we win this game and sign some fucking players, says Aditya. Not my words, his. Mark, I actually think Cavani's a good signing. He will definitely send shivers down the spine. I don't think he will, Alexander. Nobody else wants him, but he's got to be better than Ighalo, I suppose, hasn't he? But, is that our level now? You get somebody that's not Ighalo. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Let me just have a quick look here, because people are telling me things I'm not aware of. Okay. Apparently, there's talk of a Telles bid. I mean, to be honest with you, if I'm absolutely honest, I don't really want Manchester United breaking transfer news now. I mean, we've had 8 weeks. We've had 2 weeks where we've heard fuck all in this transfer window. We're about to play a massive game against Spurs. I don't want to be seeing Romano going, here we go with Telles. I don't want to see ESPN or anybody else going, ooh, Telles fee agreed. I mean, we've had 8 weeks to do this. Can we not enjoy the next 2 hours of a massive football game rather than talking about some left back we should have bought 3 weeks ago? I'm more than happy for these things to happen tomorrow, but I'm not happy for them to be being discussed whilst we're talking the game. And I mean, of course, we're going to discuss them. I get that. But I don't want to see journalists with breaking news about Man United transfer fees being agreed when we're playing a bloody match. Can we not get control of the media? Can we not put that bid in a couple of hours' time? It's just, I just don't think it helps, and I don't know why. I mean, look, TalkSport have said that Telles is set to join tomorrow. I don't really know where the fee that people are talking about is coming from, but I've got to be honest, I really don't want to see over the next hour or 3 talk of a fee being agreed for Alex Telles, because Alex Telles to me should have been here already, and we've got a very important game to play over the next couple of hours. I'm watching Arsenal picking up another 3 points here. I mean, Arsenal, I don't know how many games Arsenal have played now, but they've won them all apart from Liverpool, which no one's going to beat Liverpool. So basically, Arsenal have got a bit of a 100% record going on here. So I'm more focused on us winning this game than, we've agreed a fee with Alex Telles, because to me, that should have been done a long time ago. Flex, can you hear me? I can just hear me. If Jadon is in the stands, what would your reaction be? Says United till I die. Well, he won't be in the stands. So, and why is Lingard, Van der Beek and Mata on the bench? No Brandon or Timothy, no cover for fullback, says Guido. Well, we'll ask Flex about that. First of all, what's your thoughts on the team, Flex? And then the bench has 1 defender, 1 goalkeeper and 5 midfielders on it. So what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's good to see Eric Bailly starting, so get the positives out of the way. I think with Son starting, Jose doing the mind game saying that he wasn't going to be ready, etc. Like you touched on, that's a positive. that pace is going to be key because Son running off the wings is always a problem. Coming from out to in, and that will be on Bailly's side as well. So that should help us. And you know what? It's stacked with midfielders, isn't it? It just shows the imbalance that is there, and also it does show a little bit. Oh, good goal!
Yeah, my clean sheet's just gone.
Yeah, it does show. It does show the fact that either Ollie isn't happy with these players because to not have a striker on the bench. Okay, Ighalo hasn't been moving very well, so essentially it's not like, oh my gosh, why is he not on there? We need him, but to not even go to him for that's his job, to just be backup in case someone gets injured as a striker, to not even have him there is a big say. Dan James, again, we haven't heard from Ollie or anything yet, but to not even see him on the bench as an impact player, well, Ricky will have a lot to say about that, but probably should be on the bench. But you have got Mata and Lingard, and they can play from there, to be fair. And look, whether you like it or not, Mata's not being used as a central midfielder or attacking midfielder. He's being used from the right. Lingard is being used from the left. So essentially, we do actually have cover because when we do make changes in this game, it probably will be one of them.
We haven't got cover up front, though, have we?
No, there's no actual cover. Yeah, there's no actual cover. What you've got to do then is you'll probably put Rashford up there. He
can't play up front, can he? He's proven that.
Exactly. But he probably would do that. I don't think he'll put Mason up there. He hasn't ever played him up front for us, really. Whenever there's another chance to play up front, and there hasn't been many, it's usually been Rashford. So yeah, I think if there was an injury to either Martial or Rashford, then potentially you're looking at shuffling the pack a little bit. But it's not natural, is it? It's not natural, and no real cover at fullback as well. Interesting, So look, I just think it highlights what it is that we need. It does into that Cavani situation. Look, I don't even want to go too much into it now because we're talking about the game, but I just think there are actually pros and cons. Like when I've calmed down about it, it's a disgrace because we're doing it so late, and it clearly is a panic. So that's a disgrace. It goes against what we've been told we're trying to build, which is not older players and big fees and stuff like that. But essentially, he's a great backup option. Really, we should have done that when it was Ighalo. Really. So I don't really mind.
Though, isn't it, Flex? That's the problem.
It's just the money. That's money.
No one else wants him, and there we are. Here's 200 grand a week. It's a disgrace, really.
But I'm just trying to exactly. That bit is a disgrace, but I'm trying to see some good. I'm just trying to see some of the pros, and there are, whether we like it or not, there are actually some pros. Like he was injured for most of last season, but if you can get him fit, I don't think that injury was because he's always injured. He just got a bad injury.
I think you've got to back the player. I get that.
He's a fit player.
But I don't think we need. I don't think after 8 years we need to try and find the pros of what's a shit deal. I don't.
No, that just shows where we're at.
Yeah,
that just shows where we're at. But I'm only looking at
making excuses for people who do these deals. I hope Cavani works. I really do, but I'm not going to try and struggle to find a positive in it because no other team in Europe wants to do it. Why are we doing it? There's plenty of Spurs themselves have gone and got a lad from Benfica that well worth it on a loan to buy deal. Vinicius, what's his name? Junior. I can't remember his bloody name now. I think they got him from Benfica.
Vinicius.
Yeah. Jovic, we could have put more of an effort in for that. So yeah, it is what it is. But as I said last night, if they do the Sancho deal tomorrow, then the Cavani deal becomes, that's a nice little bonus. But if Cavani,
that's just it, then
if Cavani's our big deal, then I mean it's a disgrace.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. Like even when Fabrizio tweeted, the here we go about the Cavani situation, it really was a downer. Really, it's just like it's just not the here we go that you want. Do you know what I mean? So I do understand that, and I just feel like to give. I know some people looking at the positives of it. He has a great scoring record. He does. That is a fact. And if he's fit and he plays in the Premier League, I think he'll do all right. I honestly do think he'll do all right. I do think it's a disgrace. I do think it's a panic buy. And I think if they really did want him all along, they would have got him ages ago. He's been a free agent for 6 months. I hear all of that.
You know what I worry about, just quickly, what's in my head, is I actually, nobody's mentioned this. I wonder what Anthony Martial's thinking.
Yeah, he's got to step up because it is.
Well, I don't think he's step up. I just don't think he's a player that needs looking at. I just think if I'm Martial, I'm like, well, so we're bringing a backup striker for me who had a great season last year with.
But you know what, Mark? You can't. But you know what? With that is here's the thing with that. As much as we love Martial and he's got his position, the problem is this: we have to have a backup striker, whether Martial likes
a backup left winger. Rashford's been shit.
Yeah, we need backup.
So maybe we should get a backup left winger. What I'm saying is, if I'm Anthony Martial, by all means get a backup striker in. But Cavani at 200 grand a week, he ain't a backup striker. There's no way Cavani's a backup striker.
He won't start him, but he is going to be a backup striker. I can't see Oli.
If he's a backup striker, then we're more idiotic than I thought. You don't pay 200 grand a week. He's being paid more money than Bruno Fernandes and most of our team. You're not a backup striker on 200 grand a week. I think people need to wake up to this.
So you think he's going to come and start?
I think he'll be starting pretty quick. Yeah, it's Edison Cavani though, isn't he? He's one of the best strikers in the world apparently, according to our fan base. He ain't coming in to be a backup striker. There's no way Edison Cavani's coming into Manchester United to be a backup striker. And there's no way United are spending that much money on a backup striker. This could be very disruptive to Anthony Martial, who, to me, every time he starts doing well in a shirt, he gets done over. Mourinho came in and did him over after Van Gaal. He's had a good season now under Oli. He was our player of the year last year, and now we're bringing in a player to basically keep him on his toes. Now, I know that will be music to the ears of some people who don't like Martial, but I think it's out of order. I've got no issue with a backup striker, and there's plenty of people who would be backup strikers. But, Raul Jimenez would be more of a backup striker than Cavani. Cavani is a big name on very big wages. So I think this whole you'll just be playing again in the Carabao Cup. I think people are in for a bloody surprise. To be honest.
I don't think that. But what if Oli, when he does start Cavani, starts shifting around the wingers? So I don't know. You might put Rashford out on the right for a game here or so. Then put Martial on the left.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's the disruption to Martial.
You're so you're saying Martial just
he doesn't want to go on the left wing. He's been given that number 9 role. He's been given the faith. He's backed that faith up, and now we're playing. I don't care what position you're in, whether you're Nemanja Matic and you go and spend 200 grand a week on Kante, look, Harry Maguire, £80 million. What if we'd gone and got Sergio Romero in on 200 grand a week because he's free? Is he going to sit on the bench? That's what I mean. I don't think people are understanding the enormity of this deal. It's like, he's cheap. It's Edison Cavani. He's not happy to sit on the bench and play Carabao Cup games. He won't be intending to do that. So...
He definitely won't be starting every game, though. 100% won't be.
But what I'm saying is, I don't think people are thinking about it. I think they're thinking with their FIFA career mode head on that, it's such a. We all know it's a big risk. We all know it's desperate, and we all know it's silly money. But it also could be a really bad thing in relation to the players that we've already got because it could disrupt. Everyone always thinks a transfer is a good thing. It's not. Transfers aren't always a good thing.
It isn't always. But all right, then if some of our players are playing with better players, because Cavani is obviously going to play the backup striker to Ighalo, let's say. So when you need to switch things up, when you need something off the bench, when it isn't quite going right, and Martial has to stay on the pitch or has to stay up front because he's the only striker, and then you bring in a Cavani, that is the step up. It is. It just stinks.
That's what I mean. We're going back to the days now of Jose Mourinho, where if Martial doesn't get a chance in after an hour, he's off because you got Cavani for half an hour. Do you see Arsenal taking Aubameyang off in the 70th minute? No, he's their he's their best player. He stays there. He stays there.
But that's different for them though, because he actually does get 25 goals every season.
So would Martial if he got the service. He only got it for half the season, and he scored all the goals. What I'm saying is, Anthony Martial for me, this season is about embedding himself as what he did at the end of last season. He should be playing 90 minutes every game. And if he doesn't get a shot on goal in 80 minutes, he might get it in the 85th minute and he scores. But what we're going to see now is, we're going to see, after 70 minutes, because we're paying 200 grand a week for Cavani, we're going to see Martial coming off a lot in games now around the 70-minute mark, which will, you know what Martial's like, he's a confidence player. I don't think this deal's good. I would much rather have seen us go for somebody. And look, I didn't want Josh King, but you're telling me there's not strikers out there that would see United as a big step. I mean, Ousmane from Lille, who went to Italy, I think he would have been perfect because he's a young striker. I've never been a big fan of Cavani.
A really young one or a really old one?
I'd rather have a younger one.
But then sometimes the experience of the older one, it can pay off.
I think it's overrated. I think experience is overrated. I really do.
You think? What, when we ain't got any winners?
How experienced is Declan Rice? I tell you what, you stuck him in our midfield, he'd be the best midfielder we've got. And he's what, 20, 21? I don't know how old he is. I mean, he is. So experience is overrated.
I don't think Declan Rice will be our best midfielder straight away.
I've been watching him a lot. I think he's running that West Ham midfield. I think that's why
he's
he's doing so well.
And I do like him. I don't know.
You know, they beat Wolves and Leicester, 2 decent teams, and he's been influential in that. So,
yeah.
I'm not a massive fan of Cavani, but what I'm saying is it's done. I'll back the player. I hope he does really, really well, because I always do that. Yeah. But I also see, all I can see is a lot of people go, oh, it's a great deal. It's a bad deal. It's a stupid deal.
It's not a great deal,
it's
no.
It's a financially disgraceful deal. But also, think outside the box here. What impact is it going to have on Anthony Martial? Because this ain't Odion Ighalo who's just happy to be here.
Yeah.
This is Edison Cavani, who is on a shitload of money and isn't going to be happy with sitting on the bench all game against Burnley because we're winning 2-0. He'll want to come on and have 20 minutes. And then that Martial's going to be the one who has to keep coming off every time. And he's going to go, fucking hell, why am I'm the number 9. Why am I having to come off all the bloody time? Missed it. Let's read some of these super chats anyway, because I'm sure there's people having their say. A 6 foot and pacey 5 years ago, Ed signs Cavani as Harry's new centre back. Prime current board move, says Roloff. Thanks for the super chat from Riba. If Rashi's form doesn't improve, Martial is our left wing cover mate, but he's our starting number 9, and Cavani and Martial will play together. Says Mark Witten. Telles done deal. Is it only him and Cavani? Says Aiden 10. Telles is not a done deal. I don't know what people are talking about.
There's a lot saying at the moment.
It is done, lads. Sorry, I have to butt in. It's done.
Well, where's it done?
It's broken on Sky. It's breaking across a few areas. Obviously, my guy has texted me saying it's done as well. So everyone's been going mental. Apparently, it is done. It is.
Well, you talk about what it means for Martial to have someone again. What's it going to do to Luke Shaw then? Surely you need the competition.
I think with a striker it's a little bit different, really.
Do you think it will push Luke Shaw though? When you said about how Martial is seriously going to hurt him in terms of we're going to see him starting more, do you think that Ollie will start looking at left back and start dropping Shaw?
I think he has to, mate. I think on Luke Shaw that has to happen, and I think people think, well, I'm against the Telles deal. I tell you what I am against. I'm against this. I'm against 40 minutes before the start of a game, Alex Telles being put out there, because that's United. And
you reckon?
Yeah. Well, United control all this. We've had 3 weeks to do this deal, and 40 minutes before a game, we're announcing Alex Telles. I mean, I know it's not official because the official thing happens a couple of days later, and it's good that Telles is done today because it means that tomorrow. Well, it could just be Cavani, but. We've had 3 weeks to do this deal, and 40 minutes before a massive game, the fans are going Alex Telles. To me, that's irrelevant. I don't want to talk about Alex Telles done now, because we've got 3 points against a very, very good Spurs side to play against, and we're all buzzing about Alex Telles that should have been done 3 weeks ago. It's just
but the worst thing is
United again.
Now the board will probably say, yeah, we got our transfer targets all in before the close of play. We worked hard, we've done well. They probably will say that.
Yeah, but I mean, look, I don't know what people are saying in the live comments, but for me, it just irritates me again, because, I actually was looking forward to just having a couple of hours switching off. All right, we can talk about Cavani, we can talk about Sancho, but I didn't want to be seeing Telles done deal 40 minutes before we're playing Spurs, because for me, it's game time. It's get the game. You get on with the game. This deal should have been done 2 weeks ago. Could have been done yesterday. And here we are, 40 minutes before a game, and it's like done deal, Alex Telles. It's just the idiocy of the timing again. It just really winds me up how bad we are as a football club. Because, again, I mean, look, if they'd announced this yesterday or on Friday, or they love the social media interaction. Imagine how much they would have got. But doing it 40 minutes before a game, it's just like, well, we know what's happening for the next 4 hours. We're playing a game for 2 hours. If we win it, we're talking about how we won it. If we lose it, everyone's in meltdown. There's nothing about an Alex Telles done deal that really is going to be relevant to anybody until about 11 o'clock tonight, because that's just the way it'll work. We'll have a match, and then we'll.
It just feels like with everything. I just think we're gearing up, which we knew already. It feels like with all these deals that they're just not. They're not the big ones we wanted to see, and I think that's the thing that is really getting to most of us now. We needed to get that right wing sorted, and look, maybe tomorrow that might happen. The Dembele thing seems to have gone quite quiet now, and I know Barcelona was saying it might not happen, so maybe it might not. But we need someone in that position. We really do, and it feels like that now they're just going to be happy to bolster the forward line, although be it it's not a right winger in Cavani, just to spread it out a bit. a left back to rival Luke Shaw. It's not going to really come into our starting 11 straight away. I just don't see how we truly kick on or how the players get that real bounce. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't feel like that. It just feels like such a letdown, really. I'm definitely not letting the Cavani deal get in the way of me understanding that. I 100% agree with that. It has been a disgrace, and it's just taken so long to do everything. And you just know that these weren't our first time. If you wanted Cavani, he's been a free agent for over 6 months or 6 months. You just go and get him. Yeah. You just go and get him ages ago. The fact that they're doing it this late, day before the flipping transfer window closes, shows that actually they're going against everything that they told us. You got to remember, they told us it when you said it. You said that's the tweet. You know, when it referred back to Ed Woodward's tweet, sort of saying the direction we want to go in and Ollie's vision. Like this actually is going against it. It is going against it. So I get it 100% of where we're at and how disappointing this transfer window has been.
I mean, look, let me just talk about Telles for a moment, because everyone knows I'm a big fan of Luke Shaw. But, you know, I've got to say, there's a massive part of me that when Alex Telles signs, and, you know, he's going to sign, you know, I've just been reading stuff when Flex was talking there, it's going to get done. It should have been done a while ago. I'm glad it's done, because the big positive for me is that we don't get to see Brandon Williams playing at left back again. And I know that sounds really hard, but he's not a left back. And Luke Shaw can't play 60 games. Now, whether Telles dislodges Luke Shaw, I'm sure a lot of people will expect that to happen. And, you know, maybe it will happen. Maybe it won't happen. Akshay says Telles is a done deal. Thanks for that. I think we've established that, mate, but thank you. Yeah, I think, you know, maybe that will happen. But let's not forget, Telles has never played in the Premier League before. I know he's got a lot of assists and penalties and stuff in Portugal. Doesn't mean he's going to drop into the Premier League and be, you know, Andy Robertson. But in the long term, we've got two left-footed left-backs, and that to me is the positive. I don't ever want to see Brandon Williams playing at left-back again. Quite interested to see what he can do as a right-back, but I never want to see him as a left-back again. So I wanted Regwell on. I'm happy with Telles. Let the battle commence. And I think in those situations... But it might well. I mean, look. I know for a fact that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer loves Luke Shaw, so you know it could be a bad thing, because we might see us reverting back to the back five, because he knows that Luke Shaw can play left-sided centre back. So we might see more of the back five, which we could see. You know, thinking off the top of my head, we could see a back five with Luke Shaw left-sided centre back, Telles a left wing back, Cavani and Martial as a front two, and then a midfield three of Matic, Bruno, and Pogba. You know, there's lots of permutations, and I suppose.
That sounds all right when you say that.
Well, squad depth brings you things. I mean, look.
That sounds all right.
But Cavani used to play off the left wing sometimes for PSG as well. So
yeah, he did. Yeah,
I don't think he'd have the legs for that in the Premier League, though.
Nah, but that was just mad, though. When you were saying that, Cavani and Martial up front, all right, Rashford have to drop to the bench or one of the others or whatever. The wing back of Telles bombing on.
The trouble is, Wan-Bissaka's not a right wing back, is he? That's the thing.
Nah, he's not.
But maybe Brandon Williams is a right wing back. You know,
it's all mad. Ollie, the super tactician, coming through, mate. He's got a plan.
This Ollie stuff, though, I really hope we win today, because, you know, everyone's like he's a PE teacher and that, and I've watched games over the week. You know, so if Ollie's a PE teacher, what's happening to Pep against Leicester and Leeds? What's happened to Brendan Rodgers then today against West Ham?
Yeah, there's loads of excuses for those, man.
Mate, everybody has bad bloody results. What about Sancho now? Says Rebar. We'll talk
over.
About
Done. Finito.
Do you think it is?
100%. 100%. 0%. But again, people are another thing that's annoying me. People's like, one idiot was like, "Oh, Flex, you shouldn't be happy about this." Like, if you listen to what I've said the whole way through this, yeah, we've had a little bit of a laugh to keep ourselves sane, but I never wanted to be proved right. It's an L I was happy to receive, but I just, from a certain point, I just knew it wasn't going to happen, and it's not going to happen within a day. Sancho's going to get on a plane, come fly quickly, and it's done. It's just not going to happen. They're not, and now, you know what else as well? They're starting to get these other deals done. They're starting to get these deals done. You know, Telles, all right, they bargained on the price, and he's going to be free in a few months. So, okay, they're trying to get the cheapest for that. Cavani, okay, he's a free, but you've got to pay wages. I don't know. I can't see them just upping the bid for Sancho, because they're going to have to pay the £109 million, euros or whatever it is. So, nah, I think it's dead and done, mate, like I have done for a while. And it just shows that we weren't able to get the target we really wanted because we didn't want to pay the money.
I mean,
we'll see, Flex.
For me, it's
sorry, guys. Scott, I'm sorry, because Fab's just tweeted, "Here we go" for Telles. So,
okay,
I agree with you, Mark. It's mad timing, and I don't mean to butt in with you guys. It's just it's going mad out there at the moment. And like you guys said, the timing is ridiculous just before a huge game. So, but there you go. Fabrizio said, "Here we go."
Told Fab we got a game. Not say it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
but this is Manchester United, though. This is Manchester United. And it's good. Look, Fabrizio Romano, he's right. He says Manchester United and Porto have reached an agreement for Telles. Last details to be sorted in the next few hours. Then medicals and official announcements. Here we go soon. Why could that not have been done at midday? Why could that not have been done at 10 a.m.? Why is that happening?
Oh, right, okay. Yeah,
why is that happening half an hour before a fucking football match? And I will swear, because it's fine margins. Do you think Solskjaer wants that? Do you think the players need that? Do you think Luke Shaw needs that? You know, we don't. We've got to be in game mode, not bloody announcing deals half an hour before. And I don't blame the players, and I don't blame Solskjaer. I blame the club again. This is not the time for this. No. This is not the time for this.
You do have to question. Look, we know what it's like with these deals and rumours and everything comes out. There's nothing secret anymore. So somebody close to the club has obviously leaked this. Whether it's Manchester United themselves actually starting to drip feed it out to the main guys, or whether it's, Fab has his sources, which obviously usually isn't the same people that, our British journalists have, because he breaks everything so quickly. But you do have to question it. You do have to question it because, like you said, this could have been done in the morning, like first thing, bit of a bounce before we actually play, and not while the warm-up's on, sort of thing. Yeah. Or it could have been broken in the evening tonight, maybe after a bad result, and then you change your emphasis and you try and kick on and get a bit of positivity, or first thing tomorrow on deadline day. But
we pay somebody for PR though, don't we? We pay somebody for PR, and they obviously think it's a good idea.
Players. We want players. We've been moaning that the deal ain't been done for ages. It's done now. Let's just move, because that's another thing that you do have to kind of think, because we're so frustrated at how everything's been going. We're forgetting that we've been flipping pissed off and moaning for weeks, and rightly so, that this deal ain't been done. Just announce it and move on. Maybe they are just doing that, even though they haven't officially done it, if you know what I mean.
Well, a lot of people are very excited, because I can tell that we've nearly got 40,000 watching, and we don't normally get that just before kick-off. So make sure you subscribe if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. We will talk about Telles. It's a done deal. Effectively, it is a done deal, because when Fabrizio says, here we go, it's a done deal. Yeah. We were talking about Sancho, and I suppose the one positive I would say is that... we know Cavani will join. It's just a medical. There's no fee to agree because he doesn't play for a club. We know we've now agreed the fee with Telles, so it's just a medical. Tomorrow could just be Cavani and Telles holding up the shirts, and that's it. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think United maybe are clearing deck, because tomorrow isn't going to be about Telles. We can't announce Telles tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be about somebody else. A certain number 7 who is still not training with Dortmund and still wants to come to Manchester United. So Flex says it's 100% not going to happen, or 0% it's going to happen. I still remain in the 90% club, and tomorrow I believe is going to be a very, very big day for Manchester United, because Telles is done now. Cavani.
Why do you think they're going to do it then? What makes you still have, honestly?
I know they're still working on the deal. So that's. There's the hope. They're hope, belief, whatever. They're not nobody. Like, why would Jadon Sancho not come out and say, I'm staying at Dortmund? He's never done that.
Of course.
Why would James Cooper not come out and say it's over? Why would Simon Stone? Why would Sky? Yeah. United would do that.
I'm not denying that they're still trying, but do you think there'll be a breakthrough with that? Because what they're trying to do is still get Dortmund to push and accept instalments, and they're not going to. Well,
look, I know that United's bid would probably get accepted. Their bid hasn't gone in. There's all these talks about all these bids.
What bid do you think will go in? Will get accepted? Of how much?
I think the bid will be about 90 million outright, and it'll have instalments attached to it, so that next year they basically get 108 million. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm not.
But this 90 million euros with 18 million euros added on, it's not it's not the fee, and it's a shit deal. That's not the deal that's going to do it. But look, Sancho wants to come to United. He's doing everything he can without putting in a transfer request. But he can't put a transfer request in if the bid's not the right bid. So people think, well, why is Jadon not putting a transfer request? He can't.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put a transfer request.
What point tomorrow? So obviously, look, it's going to be a long day tomorrow. We've got an action-packed day. We're going to be at it all day.
Yeah, we're live pretty much all day from midday tomorrow. So we've got it all covered. It's going to be... the deterioration of me and Chester flex is just going to be coming more and more out.
No,
you'd love to be wrong. No. You'd love to be wrong.
Listen, no, don't say that, Mark, because you're giving the people the wrong idea. I'm not. Listen, as each hour goes past tomorrow, when I'm on the live stream with you guys and interacting, and we're all in this together, we all want the best for the club. With each passing hour, guys, you're not going to get me going. See, 0% club is still not too late to come on down. Like, listen, I want to be proved wrong. I kind of want to stop talking about it now. It is what it is. I'm 0%. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not boasting that it's not going to happen. I just don't think it will. And with each passing hour, I'm not going to be laughing at you, Mark. I'm not going to be saying, it's not something. And when it closes and he hasn't, I'm not going to be saying, what a prat. Why did you do that? It's not what I'm here to do. I want to be proved wrong. I just don't think we will. I'm all interested about what we're going to do instead of, because we've got the best part of 100 million euros or just below that, 90 million pounds. To spend on transfers or to spend on Jadon Sancho, which is obviously going to get rejected, but it's there. It's there. So
I said that this morning. I don't really think about that. I'd keep that money in my pocket, because I look at St Maximin at Newcastle and I look at Adama Traore at Wolves, and I think they are not Jadon Sancho, but they are two right wingers I'd like to go for, but we're not going to get done tomorrow. So rather.
So what do you do? Keep the money and go for them in January?
Yeah, we've messed up. Why?
I'd give up on Sancho forever, or would you keep that 90 million there and say, right?
I don't think we'll ever get Sancho again.
But what if? Okay, let me paint this to you then.
But if there is an opportunity to get Sancho, why would you spend the money? So for
me, that's what I mean.
Don't spend the money. And everyone says, well, you've got to get somebody. I said, no. I think no. If it doesn't happen tomorrow, and I do think it will, but if it doesn't happen tomorrow, why compound the error by?
Well, am I going to get Cavani? Am I going to get Cavani as well? So it is another. Although it's not the right hand side that we wanted, it's still another attacking player, which they obviously wanted. Not in the position we wanted, but it is another attacking player. Then you say, because look, another thing about this transfer window is that it shuts so flipping quickly. It's so close to January. And the situation we're in obviously isn't going to change. There's not going to be any fans until then, minimum. So, but they're not going to have that much. I
don't think January transfer window will have a lot of money.
No, they may as well not even open it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I can't see where we're going to get funds from to go for Sancho in 3 months' time. Are we going to have 109 million up front then?
I can't. I think that short gap. People are like, oh, there's another transfer window in a couple of months. I actually think people ignore it because the clubs will just be like, nah, we can't. 100%. Do that.
But to be fair, I actually can see why. If you couldn't do it now, 3 months ain't going to change with still no football properly, like still no fans. So that's where actually, for once, I would actually see where clubs are coming from. If we were to say, well, there's not really anything we can do unless they abort their mission for Jadon Sancho, which in January we will have 90 million, and then you try and unsettle someone and put in a 40-50 million bid for Traore or something like that. But I just don't see the number. The problem is it's going to be really difficult from now because we know that we want him. We want him. Do you do a Liverpool and just leave it for a year and come back? Or try and come back? Because even next year, I know you're saying it's now or never, which I understand. It is, especially because the way it's going, and you never know, we might not finish in the top 4.
Well, exactly. That's another reason.
It's going to be tight. So if you don't get Champions League, that's it done already. But if they keep 90 million in reserve now, and then sell some players at the end of this season, so they do have the 109 million. Let's say that goes up to 150 million. Let's say, because Dortmund might try and be smart, but he'll have less on his contract, so it'll be quite cheeky to do that. Do you just go for him then and just try? It will be more of a bidding war. Sancho will have to choose. But do you say to Sancho, look, I know gentlemen's agreements in big time business don't always work, but you say, look, listen, we're going to come back for you in next summer. We still want you. You can see that we tried, and it was Dortmund who just wouldn't accept the bid for you. And we know you didn't want to give in a transfer request. We will come back for you in the summer. We will even pay 130 million if we have to. Do you try that?
But why would we spend 130 million next year when we've had a year of COVID? They'll have less money.
True. That is true. Actually, that is true. But no, but they might. But the reason, actually, that's the reason I knew I was on something. The reason why I'm saying that is because they might have sold players by then. So your Lingard might go. Pereira might kick in where they might do well at Lazio, and then you got 27 million for him with the obligation to buy. Money comes. They might finally get rid of Rojo on a permanent because they don't know that's going to happen. Like little bits of Phil Jones is on his last year, I think, isn't he goes. So they can raise a good 50 million in player sales to top up. Which it's a sad state of affairs, but it's the reality of where we are actually at. Would you do that?
Yeah, but they can't raise this money. This is the thing, isn't it? I mean, look, I've just got to read this. Christopher Delargy, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Relax, this is going to well. Let's focus on tonight's game, says Renate. My manager from work is probably watching this. Want him to promise not to banter tomorrow if you guys win, says Jonah Kramer. Surely Sancho would be more expensive in January. January is a seller's market, says Sam Aimson. Joshua Bowater, Marker, have a look at Samuel Lucas' tweet, says Joshua Bowater. And if we don't get Sancho tomorrow, we fucked it. We won't get him next summer transfer window. Best option is St Maximin from Newcastle, says Andrew Wilson. And is Williams not playing because he wants to send a message to Telles that we really want him? Good to see Ollie being more straight with bad players, says Chelsea. And Telles and Cavani medicals are booked tonight. United have left tomorrow clear. A winger will come in 100%. Many possible targets, says Sean Turner. And if we got Cavani instead of Josh King, then that's a good thing. But we desperately need a top right winger, or we might as well have gone for Willian, says Gustav. And do you think we signing Cavani as a big name because Sancho is over? Next 5 games: Newcastle, PSG, Chelsea, Leipzig, Arsenal, says Raven. And I think if Cavani gets announced as number 7, the Sancho deal is over. I'm hoping they don't use tomorrow just to announce 2 deals, says LTG131. But what I would say in my experience, right, is that I've never known, and I've been following transfer windows since teletext. You know, you used to be able to phone up bloody hot 0800 numbers for transfer news. I remember those days in the 90s. So transfers has always been my thing. I've always loved transfers. I've never known Manchester United going into a last day of a transfer window like this, and everything in my body says, don't think Sancho can sign tomorrow, because we've never done this. Not a deal of this magnitude on the last day of a transfer window that's been open for ages. So totally get where Flex is coming from. Totally get where everyone who's saying it's not going to happen isn't going to happen. But I've never known us go into a transfer deadline day like this either. You know, most transfer deadline days we're just going, we're probably going to end
Didn't this happen not too long ago on the Jose when we only got Fred and Dallo, no? Deadline day was dead, we didn't get anyone.
No, but what I mean is that's what I mean. We normally have a dead transfer deadline day. We don't normally go into it with...
with a big deal being able to be done. Okay, I'm with you.
Sancho would be our biggest signing in history. And we're going into the last 24 hours. And everything in me says it can't happen, but I know we're still trying to get him. I know he wants to come. I know the deal's still alive. So if it doesn't happen, it's not happening because it's transfer deadline day. It won't happen because we won't put the bid in. But there is still... It's still ongoing.
I don't think they will. The last bit on this Sancho thing is... That's the thing for me. I know everyone's saying if they do put the £109 million euros in, then Dortmund potentially will accept, just give them what they want. But I almost think that 2 things. One, I don't think that we will do it. I don't think we will write that check because, like I said, that would just be a disgrace if you were always going to do it. If you were always going to do it, it would taint the move, the good feeling of the move if they just pay the money, and that would really piss me off, although we get the player. But secondly, with the transfer window closing tomorrow, you if you're Dortmund, you still don't let your best player go after saying no. And then
I almost feel like Dortmund would sell Sancho tomorrow lunchtime and have Zaha in by tea time.
Oh, Zaha, you reckon?
Or Sarr. I think someone. Dortmund will definitely.
Well, Sarr they can do it any time, innit? Because it's in the championship. So you got till the 16th.
Yeah, I think they will have a deal ready to go without a shadow of a doubt. On
this game, though, Mark. Looking at they got a lot. I was looking at Spurs' team just there. They got Højbjerg, Sissoko, and not Dembele. What's his name? And Ndombele in the middle, and Højbjerg and Sissoko are very energetic and do get about the pitch. And you've got Matic and Pogba in there, and hopefully Pogba can draw some confidence. I know it's only against Brighton, but he needs to get going. But I will say it, and I don't care who it pisses off. I need him to do the simple things well. I just sound like a broken record.
Who's this, Bruno?
Because say that again.
Who are you talking about, Bruno?
No, Pogba.
Oh yeah.
Because they've got a lot of energy in there. Matic will do the simple things. That's all he does do. This is what he focuses on. But Pogba needs to have a good game. He needs to have a big game because Højbjerg and Sissoko will be on him. They will be on him. So as long as he keeps it neat and tidy and gets us playing and releases the ball quick, passing between the lines quick, nice touches, does everything with urgency. Same with Bruno. When he's in them positions, especially early on, yes, take risks. Yes, try to make things happen. But we've also got to do the simple things well to give a platform to play. Do you know what I mean?
Pogba needs to have a big game today. I mean, there's a grudge match there with Mourinho, Martial as well with Cavani coming in. Luke Shaw knowing Telles is coming in.
Oh, he's doing around the worlds now. He's ready.
Eric Bailly, you know, big chance. I think United are going to turn up today. I think we're going to win. And you know, what a great couple of days it could be, you know. Beat Spurs.
Oh, he's ready, Mark.
Second place is up for grabs. Man City have gone shit. Second place up for grabs. Got a massive amount of games in October, big games. Get this first team pumping now they've got some fitness in them. Get Sancho in tomorrow. Cavani and Telles are having their medicals tonight. You know, let's have a bit of positivity. I'm so scared that Cavani and Telles means that we're going to think more about 5-2-1 now. Now get Sancho, says Zachary Pervis. Matt Gita says, what if the new PR person has said announced Sancho on deadline day with the deal already being done? I think we would know if it was already done. Derek Glass, welcome, latest member of the United States Members Club. Telles, here we go, from confirmed by Fabrizio, says Path. And is the Sancho deal still alive with Telles and Flop Varney coming in? Or do you feel Ousmane Dembele is a real chance, as I might vomit saying that? I'd be stunned if we buy Ousmane Dembele. We're not beyond that level of incompetence to buy him, but Barcelona will only sell him for 60 million quid. I wouldn't give £6 for him. So, but look,
6.
You wouldn't buy him. I wouldn't
spend. Why are you lying?
I wouldn't spend any money.
You can't say what you just said. No, you can't say. I wouldn't give £6 for him.
If he's so good, I said this morning. If Ousmane Dembele is so good, I've had people telling me Ousmane Dembele's up there with Sancho. If he's so good, why does a crap Barcelona side in need of a rebuild want to get rid of him? You just engage your brains, put it into first.
Just needs a new challenge, Mark. Just needs a new challenge.
Needs a bloody new hamstring and then another hamstring. Mark, you said 70, 30, 20 euros would be enough for Sancho. Now it's £90 million up front. It's too expensive for us. Also can see Martial right wing and Cavani at 9, says Joshua Harper. Martial will not have that, I'm afraid. Greetings from Singapore. Do you think Cavani is in so Martial goes out to the wings and Sancho not required, says Derek? Martial don't want to go to the wing. We spoke about this. Was it not stated in the beginning of this summer that United had approximately 150 million to spend this summer? If that's true, Sancho feels realistic, says Oscar. Man United are putting in weak bids to show shareholders they tried to get Sancho cheaper, but they will crack tomorrow. It's all show and PR hype, says Just Think. And thanks for the little sticker, Renate. A lot of people, seems to be a little bit of positivity in the chat, which is always welcome. You know, I think if we can win today, medical for Cavani and Telles tonight, wake up tomorrow, and it's just going to go crazy, isn't it? Let's just see what happens. But at least tomorrow's the last day of it.
I just want it to end. This is just so. I just think I've never experienced. I remember what it was like with Bruno when we didn't get him, but it wasn't how this is with the Sancho thing. I've never been so embroiled and emotionally attached, connected to a transfer, which is probably part of the reason why I stopped so early. After them pictures of them mugging us off, it still actually wasn't, completely done. But I just refused to be emotionally drawn into it because I just could see the way it was heading. I just thought, nah, this is ridiculous. If they really wanted this kid, they would just go and get him, which was obviously never going to happen. And under these conditions, in normal conditions, they probably would have just paid 110 million euros and just gone and got him. But yeah, I've never been so emotionally involved in a transfer. I just want the transfer window to close. So actually,
can have a rest.
Yes, we want players, but we just want to focus on the team.
Yeah. Start
getting some confidence. And again, like you said, this has been another transfer show really because of that's been breaking when we've got a massive game. Do you know what I mean?
In today, then you can shove Telles up your arse. It means nothing. And Cavani, shove them both up your arse, and Sancho, because if we lose today, we've lost 2 and won 1 from our first 3.
Do you know what makes me laugh about you? Yeah, is how things get to you like in the moment of them in the football. So it's like shove them up your ass, but we will need them as the season goes on. It's a long season.
I know that, but what I'm saying is, it's like these 3 points are actually really important. The most important thing is that we've had nearly 10% of the season already after today.
And results have gone our way with some teams, So today you've got points.
What do you think the result's going to be today? Actually, because I forget to ask you.
2-1. I feel like I say everything's going to be 2-1. It's because I genuinely do think most games are going to be 2-1. With the way we're playing, I can't see us blowing away or winning a lot of games comfortably. Although I went 2-1 midweek against Brighton, that's a bit of a pun in the air. But in these big games, we have done quite well though. So I can see us scoring a couple of goals. I can see us winning if we play well, because this is where we've actually got our change in the big games. This is where we do kind of get a little bit of confidence because we've been good, and this could I'm actually kind of maybe glad we've got a big game, because you know when you're kind of ticking over or scraping through against Brighton, or the next game could have been, I don't know, Fulham at home, which doesn't really tell you much. Like, you need to up your levels and feel like you're in for a game and feel some pressure and go, you know what, we need to buck our ideas up here and stand up to the task. And that's what I want to see us do. It is a gamble, because look, you can have a hard game and you lose it and you lose momentum, but this is what it's about. These players need to understand that they need to get their asses in gear, and we're entering a crucial period now, because when we come back after the international break as well, it don't get no easier.
Yeah, I agree. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new, by the way. We're only 10 away from 857,000. Bottom right-hand corner, free to subscribe. Click that subscribe button and get your notifications on by clicking the bell, because it's going to be a mad next, how many hours is it? 24, probably about 30 hours, and then it's all over, transfer deadline day. So tomorrow we're going to be live pretty much all of the day. Flex is going to be doing a stream, I'm doing streams, Anna's doing a stream, we'll be in and out, all sorts of stuff going on. Hopefully it's just going to be a live stream of hours of Sancho building towards signing for United. But we've got all that covered tomorrow. After the game we'll be talking as well, match reaction, we've got player ratings, we're going to be live all the way through the game, we'll have the fan cams, Flex is doing that show again with KG and the guests, so loads wall-to-wall football coverage and interaction on the United Stand. Make sure you subscribe if you're new and get involved in it. I'm going to go United to win 2-0. I think we've got to win. My head says it's going to be a draw. I think a loss would be... I just don't feel like, with what we're doing in the transfer market, I just don't feel like a loss fits the story, really. I can see it being a draw, but I think if we can get a win, we just need that positivity.
Yeah,
and I don't think
if we play well. I keep look, after every single Discord we do, every single pre-match thing we do, I say the same thing about wanting a good start. And you know how we started against Palace, foul after foul after foul. It's very messy. They're in on goal. You know, we've got to clear our lines. It's under pressure from our own fault, making mistakes. How we started against Brighton, you know, again, didn't have an answer for their pressing, didn't have an answer for them down the flanks. I just need us to have some sort of assertion in the first 15, 20 minutes. Even not to have to score, you just need to be confident. Do you know what I mean? And you know what? The last couple of times we've played against Spurs, both times, I know Harry Kane weren't fit after the lockdown and looked way off the pace. He was crap against us. But even in the first game when we beat them during the season with the fans there, we usually keep them quite quiet. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, under Ollie, it hasn't been too bad. Usually gets marshalled quite well. If you stop the supply into him and stop him dropping off and getting it and turning, he usually is quite ineffective. But obviously he's still Harry Kane. It's Son. Son is the one. If we can, stop the supply into Son, so in midfield you can't have too much space, allowing him to turn and feed balls into that path, or Harry Kane dropping off the front to feed Son. And if you've got the fast person, i.e. Bailly, on that inside right channel is the right centre-back, where Son's going to be operating from the left coming in. Between Bissaka and a fast Eric Bailly, that should be enough to keep Son to a minimum. You can't always lock him off for a whole game. He's a very good player, but that's where I think this game's going to be won or lost.
Yeah, I think it is really interesting, and I do feel that, you know, being as I'm a founding member of the 90% Club, I've got to just really hype it up and say that what else have we got to do tomorrow? Yeah. What else have we got to do tomorrow? Sell Chris Smalling. You know what? There's a plan tomorrow. We might not like what that plan is. It could well end up being a bag of shit at right wing. But
do you think there'll be a name to finish off? Do you think there'll be a random name we haven't heard all transfer window just come in at right wing because we don't get Sancho?
Well, there might be. I mean, look. You know what? If they went and offered 50 million for some Maximum or Adama Traore, then I wouldn't like it, but I think they're far better options than Ousmane Dembele or an Ismail Sarr. But I still believe that it will be Sancho tomorrow, and I still believe that is what United are trying to do tomorrow. And we will see where that goes with that. But they've got these Telles and Cavani things done, and they will be done tonight by the sounds of it, because they'll have the medicals tonight. There's not any negotiations tomorrow, so
yeah. Big game, Mark.
It is an question. John Morris says, why isn't Donny van der Beek starting? I hope he comes off the bench. A few people have said this, and even Patrice Evra has said it. You know what? This is something that amazes me. I know Dean Henderson's playing well, but what's De Gea done to be dropped? And also, who are you going to drop for Donny van der Beek? I get that Van der Beek's been good, but we can't play a midfield three against Spurs of Van der Beek, Pogba, and Bruno. You've got to play
you can't
Matic.
play that. Matic has to play. The problem is though is that this is where the criticism comes from, or the call for him to play at least, is because we've started with Matic, Pogba, and what's his face, Bruno, right? Yeah. But we're not controlling games, and the way that he plays and the way he looks after the ball looks and was waiting for players to be fit, looked like he could come into it and he was ready to go and would actually be a good addition. But I agree, it's a touchy subject because difficult one for Ollie, because you know what he's like with Pogba and trying to build him up. Pogba just needs the confidence and needs to. What are you eating? I just seen you eating something.
I've muted it so people don't have to listen to me. I'm eating
it's just funny. I've only just put it onto my screen. I can just see you eating something.
Carrot cake.
Okay. Yeah, with Pogba, he wants to build him up. He wants to get his confidence up, and he needs the fitness. So he needs to kind of keep playing. But we were saying, look, if he's not fit, just leave him out for a bit. He really was playing that bad. I think this, and that's why I think it's a bit. Bruno has had the goal involvement, although I don't think he's played very well. I'm just going to say it as it is. He hasn't been brilliant. But he's doing, when you have that much influence and end say in the game, by the end of it, you was involved in all 3 goals or you made something happen, you're always justified being on the pitch. So I understand that. But he hasn't been playing well. The whole midfield hasn't been playing well, which is why you're looking at someone who, in Donny van der Beek, who comes in and looks really crisp, looks neat and tidy and very intelligent. You're then looking at it like, well, at the moment, we're dropping points, or it looked like we were going to go on a run of dropping points, and we still might. We need to play the players who are ready to go right now. So I think that's where that argument comes from. But it is difficult because you don't want to drop Pogba.
They can't hear me at the moment.
Oh, I can hear you. Oh, they can't. Oh, right, okay. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I'm also interested to see down our right-hand side as well, with Reguilon down that side, going up against Wan-Bissaka and Greenwood, because Reguilon, as we saw against Seville, he does like to bomb forward. He will bomb forward and will be energetic. So that, again, is going to be another key battle down our right-hand side. So there's loads of little mini battles across the pitch that we need to win individually for it to be a good team performance, man. But I am looking at Marcus thinking, listen, he hasn't started. He hasn't started Doherty, and what's his name? What's his name again?
Yeah, they've got a few players. They still can't.
What's the right back's name again? My mind's just gone completely blank. Why am I Aurier? Sorry, I'm looking at Rashford and I'm like, Aurier needs to have a hard, difficult game. You know what I mean? He gave away a penalty. Rashford burnt him last time he played against him at Old Trafford. He needs to be at it as well and be positive, because Aurier is not a good right back. He's decent going forward, but he's not good going the other way.
Sorry, my audio stopped working then. I won't eat any more cake. It was my own fault. But
let's go. The players are coming out. Come on, let's go.
Coming out. Yeah, we can focus on the bloody game. I don't have to have a moan now.
Yeah, come on, man. It's a big
Probably
game, man.
Sancho 10 minutes in, and then I'll really go mad. As much as I'm 90%, if they announce Sancho during the game, which they won't, don't worry. But if they did announce it during the game, I'd probably just smash my laptop up and say, "What's the point? What's the bloody?"
You stop the live stream. Yeah, you stop the live stream.
But for me, I think the big thing for me, and look, there's a tweet gone from James Robson here, his Evening Standard, and he says United can spend Monday trying to sign Dortmund winger Jadon Sancho, which is exactly what they've done. And look, if you don't think he's going to we're going to sign him, fine. But United have cleared the decks. They've got that Telles deal done. Cavani they've got done, whether you like it or not, and they've cleared the decks for tomorrow. So whether it's Sancho, nobody, or a right winger, tomorrow is going to be about that flex.
Also, Mark, just on this game, come on, man, we want to sit Jose down so bad. Like, I don't know how you feel, but just he's doing the fake smiles and how. Honestly, he's really irritated me the last couple of weeks. And Spurs are getting a bit, because they've made some good signings for them and they're getting their confidence up, and they're getting a bit big for their boots. Like, sit back down, remember your Spurs. I want to be saying that by the end of this game.
To be honest, I don't know whether it's because of the all or nothing or whatever. And look, I like Mourinho. I hated him as United manager. I've got to be honest about that. I will support Spurs every other game of the season, apart from us and.
I want Jose to fail, mate.
Arsenal. No, I prefer Spurs to Arsenal. I've got to be honest. But
Oh yeah, I prefer them to Arsenal. That's not what.
But yeah, look, I don't mind Harry Kane. I actually like Son, but I hope they all play shit today. We need to win. It's about what
I like Son a lot. I like Son a lot. You can't not like Son, especially after watching the documentary. He's just.
But I look at that back four. I don't rate Aurier. I think Rashford can get at him. Reguilon. I mean, you know, we all wanted Reguilon, but does anybody really know much about Reguilon?
He played well against. He played well against us though.
And Tellez, Eric Dyer. I just think he's an accident waiting to happen. So, but you know, I expect Martial to turn up today, big time. You know, he knows somebody's coming in. Luke Shaw knows somebody's coming in. Competition is fine, but if you perform, they don't get in the team, and that's, you know, hopefully what we're going to see. So,
look, let's go.
Let's get it on. Right, we'll get you back on at half time, mate.
Yeah, see you then, mate. Here's to a good start. Come on, we need a good start.
We do need a good start.
That's what we need. Don't need Son running in at us early doors under pressure. We need that, and I think Jose will try and let us have the ball. You know what he's like, and then spring on us.
Yes, I agree. Okay, well, I'll get you on at half time, pal.
All right, nice one.
Catch you. You can follow Twex. You can follow Flex on Twitter at FlexUTD. So we are about to kick off here. I'll get the timer running up for you. Everything's just gone a little bit slow. It's just one of them days today. Oh, come on. I think my computer's on its last legs. I think I need a new transfer of a new computer over the transfer window. But we have kicked off now. Get the timer up. I tell you what it is. It's emotional, isn't it? It's definitely emotional. It never stops with United at the moment. It never stops. It's just constant. And I think tomorrow, as I said many a time, is going to be very interesting. Martial's just gone down in the box. The penalty to Manchester United early on. What did I tell you? Anthony Taylor says penalty, and Manchester United have got a penalty within the first 30 seconds. And it's Anthony Martial who goes down. Bruno with the little ball through. Martial, is it a penalty? I don't know. Yeah, it is. It is a penalty. He doesn't get the ball and he puts his foot out. Yeah, that's a penalty. Penalty to Manchester United. Davinson Sanchez on Martial. I've got Martial in the Fantasy Premier League team. I've got Bruno in the Fantasy Premier League team. Goal and an assist possibly coming in here for United. Oh, come on, Bruno. He's going to have to miss at some point. Bruno Fernandes with the penalty. Oh God, what a start. He finished the last Premier League game with a goal. Is he going to start off with another one? Bruno. Yes! Get in! Bruno Fernandes. 1-0 to Manchester United. Clinical. The little hop. And then he passes it into the back of the net. And United have got the dream start here. Martial with the penalty. And then Bruno steps up to pass it home. Does Lloris with the Lloris is just done. He's absolutely done. It's not even an amazing finish. It's just the calmness. And just so clinical. So clinical, Bruno Fernandes. He's just so clinical. Oh, he could perform open heart surgery on a heartbroken ant blindfolded. He is that clinical. Oh, he's just brilliant. And I don't even know if ants have a heart. I don't even care. He's that clinical, he could do it anyway. 1-0 to Manchester United, and it's the dream start from United. We've barely started, and Mourinho will be furious. And it wasn't actually Eric Dyer with the mistake. It was Davinson Sanchez, wasn't it? So Manchester United 1-0 up here. We will change the score. Yes, Jose, that was a penalty. And yes, Jose, that's 1-0. Come on. Penchester United, VAR, whatever. Pogba's been marked noble quality for 4 years, says 100V Ghost. 1-0. It's like starting a game with an aggregate 1-0 lead, this is. It's perfect for United. Absolutely perfect. Definitely a penalty. You can moan about how many penalties United get. I don't care. Moan away, because it didn't even need to go to VAR. It was a clumsy tackle. It was a penalty, and United lead 1-0. Oh, early days. Wan-Bissaka with the tackle there. So dream start for United. I think we've almost been shocked by ourselves. We shouldn't be shocked. And actually, the brilliance of that goal was that it was actually a pass by Bruno Fernandes into... Oh, what the bloody hell. Get out, Harry Maguire! Piss off! Piss off, Harry Maguire! You useless piece of shit! What are you doing? What is he bloody well doing? That is the worst bit of defending I've ever seen from United. What is he bloody well doing here? What is he doing? He's trying to head it back to the keeper. Oh my life. Bloody Harry Maguire. He's useless. He's bloody well useless. He gets 2 chances to head this away. Oh, for fuck's sake. He's crap. He's absolutely crap. £80 million we paid for him. £80 million for his aerial ability, and he heads the ball like a bloody balloon. Useless. Absolutely bloody useless. Oh, I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. 80 million quid on that prat. You can't believe it. You can't get 1-0 up in a game like that and give a lead up straight away. He is dusted. Absolutely dusted. What a prat. That is just... I've not even changed the score over yet. You useless cretin. I have not seen defending like that since Pub Football Sunday. That is just... He's got 2 opportunities to head the ball away. We paid 80 million quid for him because of his aerial ability. Unbelievable. Just don't watch that back on Match of the Day tonight. Unbelievable. Captain Maguire. Oh, for God's sake. You get 1-0 up in a game of football like that and you can't bloody defend. I'm furious with that. I'm bloody furious with that. And for anyone saying you're being a bit harsh on Maguire, this is bloody Premier League football. He's the captain of the team. He's cost 80 million quid. What did I say before the game? Eric Bailly starting is a good idea, but let's not pretend that there's a massive gap between Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof, because there isn't. I think Maguire gets away with it because Lindelof made some mistakes against the Palace. So the great start that we've had has been given up by bloody Harry Maguire. Useless. I tell you what. He defended that, right? He defended... Is Harry Maguire, 80 million quid, one of the best players in the league in the air when he was at Leicester City. He defends that ball in the air. Oh, here we go. Son. 2-0. Fuck off. Get out. Get out. This defence is rubbish. It's bloody rubbish. Harry Maguire again. Stupid foul. Quick free kick. 2-1 down. 2-1 down. Bloody rubbish. I tell you what, you can buy Messi, you can buy Neymar, you can buy Ronaldo. With these prats at the back. Look at that. Stupid free kick. Nobody's covering the back. I can't believe this. To be honest with you, I tell you what, to be honest with you, that ref's a bloody disgrace. That free kick should not be allowed to be done that quickly. This is not, that shouldn't be allowed to do that. They shouldn't be allowed to do that quick. I tell you what, I don't think that's right. I think United have had a really bad start, but I think the ref's taking the piss there. Harry Kane gets up and literally kicks the ball straight away. I don't think, I don't know. I think that's open to interpretation. But the reality is, defensively, shit. Harry Maguire, in the first 7 minutes, has defended like a bloody newborn lamb trying to stop a pack of hungry wolves eating the last Krispy Kreme donut. Rubbish. Captain of the club, get rid of him. He's a bloody joke. What a shamble. How is this on the manager? How is this on the manager? It's just idiots. 80 million quid on a bloody... Well, I'm not even going to use the derogatory term that people use. I've not even changed the score yet. It's all going off. So the dream start for Manchester United. You can't win football matches with a defence like that. I can't believe it. I'm drained with this football club. I'm absolutely drained. I cannot believe it. Can you believe it? Can you actually believe it? We're 1-0 up in the first minute and we're now 2-1 down and we've not even had 10 minutes. Oh my life. I tell you. Welcome to the Members Club, Ricky916. We need Bay for his speed. He can't defend. Get into your head, says Sean Negative Turner. Mate, how are those goals Eric Bay's fault? Seriously, how are they Eric Bay's fault? Last time I checked, Son is Wan-Bissaka's marker. So why is Wan-Bissaka not tracked that run? And also, yeah, Eric Bay's header on the first one's not great, but Harry Maguire heads it twice after that. You know, so it's the rule of 2 to 1, isn't it? All right, Eric Bay's header should be better. Maguire heads it crap twice, so you can allow one mistake, but it's time to stop buying overrated English players, says Zayn Miasi. Give Bruno the armband and get the prat off the pitch, says Wadu. And I've never been so stunned my whole life. Wow, says Lasardi. I mean, Ollie did say we don't know what impact Greece is going to have on Harry Maguire. I tell you what, Greece is having more impact on Harry Maguire than John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. Hi Mark, trying to stay positive amid the chaos within our club. Why are we signing non-priority positions? We need a centre-back, a CDM and a right winger, says Armand. And I'm trying to stay positive and the chaos within our club is becoming increasingly difficult. So nervous for the season, to be honest, says Krish. To be honest with you, the speed of the free kick by Spurs is amazing. It really is. Luke Shaw, Aaron, the speed of the free kick is the killer there. It's the free kick that's the problem. And what's irritating me more than anything is that we are getting caught on the break by a team that's been catching teams on the break all season. I will change the score in a minute. I think my system has just decided to die as well. Have you seen Twitter? Tellez is confirmed. Mate, I couldn't give a shit about Tellez. I said this when it was confirmed. I'm focused on 3 points here. I couldn't give a shit if Messi signed. People need to realise we're a bloody football club. You buy players to play on the pitch. We're playing a match. We're playing a bloody football match. What are you talking about Tellez for? Is he on the pitch? No. Should he be on the pitch? 3 weeks ago. So Tellez to me is irrelevant. He's not going to wear a Man United shirt for 3 weeks. I couldn't give a shit about Tellez being confirmed an hour before a game. It's irrelevant news. We're playing a bloody football match. This is why the problem with the board is. These deals should have already been done. We're a bloody shambles. And we're not winning 1-0, by the way. I'm trying to change this score. Go on, Martial. He's up against Son. He's on his own. United actually haven't started off that bad. Just defensively, we've been awful. Today could be a bloody nightmare of a game. Oh, let's have a look at what people are saying in the live comments. Harry Maguire, trash. Already 2 mistakes from our captain. Should be stripped of the captaincy, says Kevin Morori. 80 million for Maguire, mid-table defender, and we got bent over on the price. Neville summed it up when he said Liverpool buy and sell well. No £100 million deal, says Shahil. Get Van der Beek on now, says Joel Morris. For what? Are you actually watching this game, or are you sat getting updates on your phone and you just want your favourite player to come on? Maguire is an absolute joke now. Have we got a 75 million defender yet? Still need more, but thinking of buying forwards. What a broken club we are, says Robbo FM. And welcome to the members club, Ricky916. Please subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. Man United started off 1-0 and it's been a heart attack on toast ever since then. Bloody joke. Bloody joke. But Spurs are getting a lot of joy running at our back four. They're doing it again here. Here's Harry Kane. And of course, we've seen from Spurs, they're firing on all cylinders at the moment. They've got goals in them all over the team. I'm in shock. I'm in shock. Dream start for United, and then God, I don't even want to. You know what? I don't think I can even bring myself to watch the goals at half time. Dream start for United. Bruno plays Martial in. It's a penalty. He scores the penalty. You're 1-0 up. 2 minutes gone, and you're like, we've got something to build on. And then 5 minutes later, we're 2-1 down because of a prat at the back called Harry Maguire. And the problem with United is, and Patrice Evra spoke about it a couple of hours ago, how does Harry Maguire end up being captain when he's not even been there a year? Because that team has got no leaders in it. And what's happened now? Shell-shocked. We're 2-1 down in no time, and we lack leaders. So how are we going to get back into this game? And Pogba again, stuck on the bloody ball. Get Pogba off as well. I mean, I don't know whether this ref's having a bad game or not, but he's given us sod all. But Pogba getting stuck on the ball there. Fucking hell. Rashford bangs his fist on the floor. You know what someone needs to do? Put a fucking 2-footed tackle in on Spurs. Somebody, you know, I'm not talking about a red card, but somebody go through a Spurs player and get the ball. Get this bloody team going. I tell you what, I'd love it. I'd love to play for this team. Roy Keane in this team. It just needs somebody to get them off their bloody arse and focus. We're making mistakes because we're not concentrating. Get your bloody groove on. That's going to go out. Oh no, you'll keep it on. Well done, Greenwood. Welcome to the Members Club, Drew Laming. And who can bring on to turn the game around? 70-year-old Mata, says Vin Barar. How does Maguire play over Lindelof? He's really, really poor, says Bamba. First we blame Lindelof, now we blame Maguire. Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Shaw not up to the mark. How can all defenders perform so badly? Something's really wrong in their training routine. Oh yeah, mate, yeah. It's all about training, because a ball in the air that you should head away is totally about training. You know, what do you want us to do? Should we get Harry Maguire, who at Leicester was brilliant in the air, to start heading the ball all week against the ball? If he heads that bloody ball away, we don't concede. Don't start talking about fullbacks or defensive tactics. He's got to head the fucking ball away. Watch the goal back. There's nothing tactically wrong with that goal. There's just an idiot who doesn't head the ball. He heads it like a bloody balloon. He's got all the time in the world. He's got a big head that's brilliant at heading the ball away, and he heads it like a bloody balloon. Put the blame where the blame lies. Come on. What he needs to do now is get his head on the end of this bloody free kick. Start doing what you're paid to do. I want Harry Maguire's head on the end of this free kick. Luke Shaw with the cross. Oh, Pogba. 90th minute, 90 million for an aerial master. He's no better than Victor, says Jake Marshall. And Mark, do you think Maguire's antics in Greece have affected his form at the start of this season, or simply not good enough, says Jack Jones? Well, you know, you could have an open debate on either, I suppose. Do you think it's plausible to convert Matic to a centre-back? No, Ricky, come on. Does Matic look like a centre-back to you? He's got no pace. I know Harry Maguire's got no pace, but he's quicker than him. Lovely ball by Bruno. Rashford hit it. Oh, he's hit the post. I won't believe it. What a ball by Bruno. And the linesman's pulled it off for offside, I think. How have you got yourself off here, Ashy? He's not offside. Well, it's not bloody offside. Why has the linesman put his fucking flag up for? It's not offside and the ball's not gone dead. Oh, these prats. These bloody prats. He's not even offside and the linesman's put his bloody flag up. So Spurs get the ball back now. Lovely pass by Bruno. It's only 20 minutes gone. We can get back into this game, but it's hard, isn't it? Hard to get back into a game when you've got defence like that. I mean, how many more Pratt mistakes are they going to make? They're bypassing our midfield far too easily yet again. We need a world-class centre-back and CDM before buying more attacking players for me, says Ryan FTW. And Luke Shaw, nice little run into Martial. He's not going to win that, though. You know things are bad when Eric Dyer is best centre-back on the park, says Dazu W. Here's Mason. Terrible shot, blocked. Welcome to the Members Club. Demon is Dangle. And Frederick Larson says, hate that we're behind. The only thing that's positive is that it can't be Lindelof's fault, who's always at fault no matter what otherwise, says Frederick Larson. Not going to lie, Mark, all this nonsense that's going on in this club is affecting my mental health, says Mihir. And Bruno has started really well. Hopefully he can drag us back into it, says Jacob Hexamer. The thing is, I just worry about our defence. It's been so badly set up here that I worry about the defence. Going forward, we look all right. But you can't win games on a defence like that. Nice ball out to Rashford here. Go on, Marcus. Nicely into Greenwood. Give it him back. Mason! Good shot, but if he should have given that back. That's a one. I think Greenwood does this a lot. Because he's a young and experienced player. He gets this from Rashford. It's got to go back to Rashford and he doesn't. He turns and shoots. He's quite a selfish player, which is great at times. It's bloody great. But that's got to be a 1-2 with Rashford. Please subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. I've had a couple of super chats here. Where's the punishment for mistakes? If you don't perform, you get benched, you get penalised. There's no there needs to be some consequences. Maguire hasn't shown any leadership outside of bars in Greece, says Parth. And who does Ollie bring on to change this? 70-year-old Mata. We literally have no impact player on the bench, says Vin Barar. I think the problem is I don't think we've done too bad attacking-wise. Lovely ball into... Oh, good defence by REA there. I don't think we've done too bad attacking wise, but defensively is the problem. Cavani free, Tellez 15 million, and Upamecano 60 million. To me now, that's better than Sancho, says Brian Crooks. Maguire can't be a starter, and yeah. Greenwood into Bruno. Abhishek says if we've got 90 million to spend on Sancho, I'd rather spend it on Koulibaly. They won't do that though, will they? Because it's an admission that the 80 million we spent on Maguire was a mistake. I don't really have much know-how, but I guess a centre-back should read the game very quick and carry his line. Don't you think Maguire is slow reading the game, says Abanaf? Yeah. Come on, United. We need a goal before half-time. There's a ball to Luke Shaw on there. Oh, Maguire. Takes all week to play a pass he should have played half an hour ago. Oh, here we go. How have we been caught out again? Son should make it 3-1. How are we getting caught out with the long ball every bloody time to Son? Did we not watch the Southampton game? He should have made it 3-1. You know what? Hands up if you watch Spurs play against Southampton with the long ball over the top to Son. Because our defence hasn't watched it. And that all comes from a Maguire bad pass to Luke Shaw and it breaks down. Somebody's saying it's bad coach. Mate, I disagree with you. It's not bad coaching. It's bad decision making by players who are making bad passes and not picking up their men. Why would players like Bruno stay at our club if we keep bottling every game like this, says Mihir. Well, I think that's a problem for a couple of years' time. Not yet. Not yet. Yeah, I would very seriously consider not selling Smalling. Saved by De Gea. Could have been 3-1 again. All over the place defensively. We could score 3 goals here today and get beat 6-3. Salah Ahmed says, Ricky's going to blame Bruno for this. Lamella, corner. Lads, we should be 3-0 down. Lads and ladies, we should be 3-1 down. Pogba losing his runner here. And a block by Eric Bailly. All over the place defensively. And it all comes from Harry Maguire. Wan-Bissaka, look at Wan-Bissaka's positioning here. Overcommits and Son should make it 3-1. I tell you what, defensively, we're a bloody shambles. An absolute shambles. Corner to Spurs. Fucking hell. Bloody hell. Eric Bailly with the block again. We're hanging on here. 3-1 and the game's over. Corner comes in. Reguilon on the back post. Ricochets about. I think it drops to Ndembele and it's a block by Eric Bailly. Wan-Bissaka losing 50-50s again. Eric Bailly putting his body on the line. What the hell is Maguire doing getting drawn by Kane and pulled out of position over and over again, says KA. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is not good attacking wise. It's better if he sticks to his man and defends what he can do best, says Darshan. There's a red card. Who for? Oh, fucking hell. What's going on here? I didn't even see it. I can't even tell you what's gone on here. There's a red card for Lamella. I don't know what's going on here, but there's a red card. Martial, I think, might have got a red card here. Or Eric Bailly. He pushes Lamela. Lamela pushes him in the face first. Oh my life! They forget. Cancel football. Cancel football. If they're gonna stick to this red card, what's the point in VAR? What's the point in VAR? What is the point in VAR? He hits Martial first. What is the point in VAR if he sends Martial off? What is the point? Am I missing something? What is the point? Lamela hits him first. I'm lost here. What? How can Martial be sent off and not Lamela? I'm not even joking. Football is over. What? That is a disgrace. Come on. I know United are defended badly. Football is a disgrace. Oh my God. How can Martial get the red and not Lamela? And Kane makes it 3-1. I'll tell you what, we may as well just give up and go home. The ref has fucked this game up. I can't believe it. You know what? I actually can't believe this. Eric Bailly as well. Oh, for fuck's sake. I don't, you know, I'm very rarely speechless, but I don't even know what to say. We're trying to pass out from the back. Son with the assist. Harry Kane makes it 3-1. I mean, we are lower. We are sinking lower than Bilbo Baggins' front door here. But I tell you what, I feel a massive, massive sense of injustice because I cannot understand how Lamela isn't getting a red card. And you know what? All interest in this game has gone to me because I cannot understand how Lamela can go like that on Anthony Martial. Martial should get a red, but so should Lamela. I don't understand it. Why does he not send Lamela off as well? What, am I missing something? He blatantly hits him in the head. I'm disengaged in football now. I'm not interested in football anymore because we've got VAR for a reason. And Martial shouldn't do what he does, but Lamela hits him first. Like, how is that not a red card to Lamela as well? I don't get it. Where's the justice in life? Where's the justice in football? Like, he blatantly hits Martial in the face. Martial should not react. I get that. But for fuck's sake, he hits him first. Like, why would they not review that on VAR? I can't believe it. I'm gutted. And look, I'm more than willing to listen to people if you're telling me I'm wrong, but I cannot. I've got eyes. He hits him in the face purposely. Lamela hits him in the face purposely and doesn't get a red. It's a disgrace. Oh. Good night, Mark. We're a waste. Had it with them, everyone, says Dimitri. It's Anthony Taylor. I genuinely can't understand how he keeps getting big games. We're in the cup final and now this game. Gav Lyons, you know what? I totally forgot. He's the cunt from the fucking final, isn't he? Useless. And I don't use that word lightly, but that is a joke. Look, watch this now. He literally goes up into Martial's face. How would that not get reviewed? How does it not get reviewed? I get Martial's got to go. But 10 against 10 is fine. Pogba's got to come off as well. How can the ref not look at the monitor? It's a joke, says Joshua Bellwater. Look, I'm not red tinted glasses. Martial's got to go. You can't hit someone in the face. I get that, but Lamela does it as well. I don't think he even got a yellow card. I mean, that just shows you this is just it's an, you know. I know Arsenal fans are going to be on our side because they hate Spurs, but any football fan should look at that and go, the referee. One day you might get Anthony Taylor. Good night, Mark. We're a waste. I've read that one. How are any of you clowns calling for Ollie out? He put the strongest team. It's not his fault. Martial's been a child and Maguire can't head a ball, says Ryan FTW. Crap game, crap decision. Time to switch off the telly. Good night, Mark. Well, we don't do that, unfortunately. Coaching ain't the problem. 200 million on defence and those are the players he wanted, says JRod998. Well, you know what? I'm not even going to get into that tonight. If you want to get into Ollie out, you crack on for me. I've got eyes. I don't see anything. I think we were actually playing really well as a team. I think individuals have cost us here. Wait until Neymar and Mbappe get hold of this team, says Surinder. Don't understand why no one is crowding the ref, going nuts at the ref about Lamela not being sent off too, says Josh D. I mean, what am I getting this wrong, or am I totally blind? Because I think we've been the victim of a massive injustice here. 2-1's not an injustice. That's down to Harry Maguire and him being shit. But I cannot believe, I cannot believe that they've not reviewed that in the VAR studio and said, you might want to come and have a look at this because Lamela hits him first. The red card decision, I mean, I can only assume they've said, he said to them, all I'm interested in is the red card for Martial, right? And they've gone, yes. Because they should also be saying, but you want to have a look at what Lamela did. They've clearly not done that. Or, even worse, they've said, there's nothing to look at with Lamela, he does nothing, which is not the truth. He's got to look at the Lamela thing. And if he looks at it, he's got to give him a red card. It's really between Liverpool and Everton for the league. Who would have thought, says Jake Green. Commentators confirm Lamela got a yellow. How was one a yellow and not a red, says Dominic Z. Nah. Well, there you go then. There you go. There you go. This could end up being... Well, it's 4-1. It's 4-1 and we've only had 36 minutes. I feel like throwing up. I feel like throwing up. I'm looking at Son dancing around like a smug shit. I don't think anybody predicted this coming today. No. There's no pride in the shirt. There's no leadership in the shirt. I mean, Luke Shaw's way out of position here. Why is Harry Maguire on the front post? What are we doing? Matic not picking up the run. Nobody's picking up the runners. I mean, we're down to 10 men at the end of the day, so this is going to happen, but... I just don't get it. It's gone through Maguire's legs as well on the cross. Bloody hell. Maguire's been nutmegged on a cross now. What do you do? There's still 7 minutes of the first half left. What do you do? It's a rhetorical... I'm not saying Ollie's got the answers. I'm sure he hasn't. But what do you do? These players are spineless. Spineless. One 0 up as well. We'll end 6-1. I'm retiring. Lindelof was the problem, says like a boss PP. Well, to be honest with you, many of us said, is there much of a difference between Maguire and Lindelof? It's just that Lindelof is always the one that everyone says drop. I'm scared Ollie goes after this. The players are a disgrace and the referee is a joke. Ollie should stay, but he needs proper backing. The board need to hang their heads in shame. They're a disgrace, says Callum Foster. Come on, you Spurs, says Racehorse Red. Maguire off, Lindelof on. Needs to happen. I'm scared. He's going to 5 at the back. Oh, it's 4-1. Sorry, I've not changed the score again. Don't worry, I'm just going to change it every 2. Okay, now. What is that from Wan-Bissaka? Piss off back to Palace, you useless shit. You've got so much time to whip a crossing and he passes it back to Lloris. Weak mentality. Join the list. Pussies. These players aren't. They're not. They don't deserve to wear the shirt. Where's Wan-Bissaka? Who's marking Son? Somebody mark Son for the love of God! Somebody bloody mark him! Like, no, just watch the freedom Son's had today. They don't fucking mark him. This will be 10. This could be 10. We could be on the edge of our biggest ever Premier League loss here. I'm not joking. They've given up. Oh, Harry Maguire's going on a run now. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, give the pass and piss off back to the back and do your job. Pogba's going to have to come off. I don't know if you remember, I told you before that Maguire is a flop. Lindelof is a better centre-back and I'm fed up with this team, says Anton. Eric Bailly is not the answer, says M. Hill. Well, hello, welcome to that club. I did say this to you. I said, look, Eric Bailly gives us a bit of pace, but whether he's the answer is another question. No point to play the second half. I just forfeit the game. The game is over, says Kevin Mowry. It doesn't work like that, does it, unfortunately? Harry Nugmet Maguire every game. His awareness is awful. Bailly is too rash for Maguire because he runs off while leaving slow Maguire to himself. I'm done with this. So totally done, says Parth. Forget Sancho. We need 2 centre-backs. The best centre-back is on the bench and Pogba off for Donny, says Sean Turner. You know what, though? Can I just say this? However, and I know tensions are running high here, but do you really think when Harry Maguire's put a performance in like that and Anthony Martial's been sent off and the referee has cheated and we're down to 10 men and the players have down tools, do you really think that Ollie out is the appropriate thing, or is that just an agenda? Because to me, the big thing that I've been saying for a long time is this is on the Glazers. This is on Ed Woodward. This is on the fact that we've come into this season ill-prepared and Spurs... Oh, Harry Maguire just passed the ball out from fucking 30 yards. Tosser. This is on the Glazers. They've sent us into the season ill-prepared. They've done the business late. Glazers out. You know, that's the thing that should be happening. Glazers out, because they've absolutely destroyed this football club and they continue to destroy it whilst lining their pockets. Good play by Greenwood there. I don't know if let's have a look. Disgraceful performance even before the red card incident, says Luke Erasmus. And Maguire was very much an Ollie signing. Palace, Brighton, Spurs. Is this Ed's fault because we don't have Sancho? Players need to take the blame, says Cobb Ross Aitkins. Well, of course it's on the Glazers, Cobb. Every other club has gone into this season prepared. Everton, Arsenal, Spurs, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea. They're all prepared. We haven't even got our signings in. Donny van der Beek is a backup player. We've not bought any first team players to strengthen our team yet. I mean, even Tellez and Cavani, they're not United players yet. Why not bring on Van der Beek and remove Greenwood or Rashford to bring balance, says Aditya. Defence organisation is on Ollie. He just has no clue on tactics, says Ziggy Johnson. The first goal has got nothing to do with defensive organisation. It's because Harry Maguire can't head a bloody ball. The second goal is because Harry Maguire makes a stupid header and a foul in an area you didn't need to. We're 2-1 down, and then we're down to 10 men, and the heads have dropped. So I don't see. Look, for me, it's irrelevant, isn't it? Well, it's not irrelevant. Of course, it's relevant, but people who want to put it onto tactics will put it onto the tactics. They've been putting it on the tactics for the last 6 months because they've got an agenda. I know people who love Harry Maguire and want Ollie out. They'll just blame it on Ollie, even though Harry Maguire is blatantly the shittest player in the Premier League this weekend. So whatever your agenda is, you're going to go with it. But for me, this loss is down to Harry Maguire. He gave him a 2-goal lead. He's at fault for the 4th goal. He's the captain as well. He's at fault for most of the goals, and he's the captain. When you go down to 10 men, you need some bloody leadership. Look, Luke Shaw's 2v1'd here. I think he's going to have to shut up shop at the second half. You're not getting back into the game. Sort the defence out, park the bus, and keep it at 4-1. This reminds me of your 6-2 career mode loss to Spurs and the players started dancing after scoring a consolation goal, says Berker Isaacson. At least you're signing Cavani now, Martial. I'm enjoying this. I'm in the 90% club, says Munty. Fuck off. Why the elf doesn't Ollie get his arse and get into tech area to have a go at his players, says Nigel Lyle. And Kane just heads it wide from a corner. Who's attacking Kane there? Ollie will be sacked sooner than I thought, says John Parishman. The British press will make a huge deal out of this and Poch bandwagon will start. Ollie should say sod off and leave. I have been supporting United for 54 years. Now I will walk, says Steve Blackman. And Glazers out, Woodward out and Ollie out. We will be fighting for relegation this season, says Roll. October is going to be a very tough month for us, says Luke Erasmus. Well, we're nearly at half time. We've got Flex coming on in a minute. I don't think anybody could have predicted this. He's got to make changes, but the game's gone. Why hasn't he made tactical changes after going 10 down to 10 men, says Pete. I can't believe what I've watched this half. I can't remember a performance at the back this bad. Honestly, Mark, can you? It's been an absolute joke. Seriously, Mark, fair play to you for being able to stay upbeat during this absolute embarrassment. I feel bad for Bruno running his socks off when the rest of this team just couldn't give a crap, says Nicholas O'Halloran. Hey Mark, I honestly believe David Gill is more missed than Sir Alex. It's disgrace what's happened to this great club. You can only hope Maguire is getting a proper whooping in at half time. Says Monster. Never mind a partner for Maguire. Is he good enough? We better be active in the next 24 hours. I can't watch this. I fear this is Ollie out by Christmas, says Jamie Shawcross. I admire your patience to be still in the online watching this piece of shit unravel in front of you. I'm off. Had much have seen my club drown, says Surab. Don't worry, you just need 4 penalties, says Just Sweep Harry. Calling it now, Maguire will end up proving to be a worse signing than Kepa, says Tejas. We deserve this loss. Sheer foolishness from the owners and management. We could bring in Pep and still have the worst season ever. Feeling shattered, says Druv. The players are on the pitch today, not the Glazers. No fight in those players, no pride. And Ollie is still sitting down. Fergie would be spitting fire now, says Robert O'Malley. Taran says, you just know the board are going to blame for Ollie for this and he's going to get sacked. Can someone please press the reset button? This is a disgrace, says Paul Progba. I'm loving this, but Lamella has to go, says Callum Canning. And Ollie picks a captain with his mentality. Why did he ask for VAR and Lamela? He can't defend, dictate, lead or protect. Give the captaincy to Bruno, says Arvind. Guido Materni says Maguire can't lead. He can't get this team going. He can't make them play. Switch to a diamond. Bring Van der Beek on, says Alarico. You can see this coming though. Crystal Palace and Brighton owned us, says Manchester G. Naj says never wanted Maguire. Biggest joke ever. Leicester laughing their heads off. And stop blaming the manager. It's the Glazers need us. The problem. Time after time we need new owners. Not stop blaming Ollie, says Roger McCalmont. Might as well take off Maguire and put on Lindelof because Maguire is useless, says O'Shane. And can we wait for the game end before we start writing things off, says Nathan Morton. And Mark, we need our bloody captain. Maguire looks lost, says Arch. I mean, look, I mean, I'm going to get Flex on now, but what I would say is that anybody who's trying to compare the Palace game and the Brighton game to this, you're miles off. Like, we were poor against Palace as a team and we were poor against Brighton as a team, but we've actually played well in this game. The fluidity in the attack has been quite good, but you're never going to win a game of football with individual errors. I mean, Harry Maguire has given them 3 goals there. And I know we're down to 10 men for one of them, but the first 2 goals are on Harry Maguire. When we've got 11 players on the pitch and we're actually playing quite well. We go 1-0 up in that game, and all you've got to do is defend for 10 minutes and you know, build on that platform. And within 7 minutes of that goal, we're 2-1 down because Harry Maguire can't defend. So, yeah, you can say, oh, it's all about tactics again. I've played football, I've watched football. I don't think the way we played in the first, before the red card, was bad. I think the way we defended was terrible. And every time Spurs went forward, they looked like scoring. But that's because Wan-Bissaka and Bailly haven't decided who's going to mark Son, so he's free. That's because Harry Maguire can't do his job. That's why we're 2-1 down. And then the red card for me. I mean, look, Flex, are you there, mate? Hopefully we can get Flex on. I want to know what he says. I can't hear him at the moment.
Yeah.
Mate, look. Quick, we've only got 15 minutes to talk about probably 15 years of mistakes in this football club, but neither of us could have predicted that before the game. This game is over. It could get a lot worse. What's your frustration? Because to me, at 2-1, you can always get back in the game. I totally appreciate Martial's got to get the red card, but I cannot.
They both got to go for that. If you're giving out the red cards, Lamela's got to go for that. Well, at 2-1, you got a chance. But do you know what? They're all an embarrassment, especially that back line. Captain Harry Maguire, fucking Harry Beckenbauer. Oh, yeah, mate. Yeah. I'm telling you, I've said it a load of times before. Everyone's giving him a free pass. Get rid of Lindelof. Everyone's giving him a free pass because he's just come. He's 85 million and the captain. The reality is he's not good enough. It's just a fact. It's a fact. I don't know what he's thinking. I do not know what he's thinking. And just away from Harry Maguire, the mentality of the side, the whole mentality of the side was just absolutely non-existent. He makes another foul on Harry Kane. Step on the ball. Stand there. No reaction. Wan-Bissaka, no reaction. Eric Bailly, probably a little bit harsh, but I went in on him as well. Again, no reaction. But even before that, we were wide open. We spoke about a good start. And technically, we actually got a good start. We got a pen after about 40 seconds. That's the perfect basis to build on. What happens? We allowed him in down the other end straight away. Harry Maguire, what are you? He's pulled back Luke Shaw. He's pulling him back.
I know.
Like, what is he doing? 85 million, and people are just going to act like this ain't really happening.
I've just seen that. If anyone hasn't seen it,
you're talking about spending 100 or something million for Sancho to forget that. If you got Sancho there, right wing, what is he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Fix the things that need fixing. I don't even want Sancho tomorrow.
Take a look on Twitter at Luke Shaw Army. I thought Luke Shaw was fouled on the first goal, and Luke Shaw thought he was fouled, and he was fouled by Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire pulls Luke Shaw back from clearing the fucking ball. Not only does he head the ball terribly twice, he then fouls our own player who's trying to clear it. Just unbelievable. And this, yeah, but you're right though, mate, because I spoke about this. I said this, Flex, and I think it's very important because a lot of people want to know this, how much blame goes to Ollie, because we know there's people out there who will put this all on Ollie, but are right up Harry Beckenbauer's arse. So, there is going to be a lot of pressure on Ollie, and you've got to look at that. I mean,
look, 100%. And you know what? Look, I'm trying to calm down. I'm not even trying to personally, I'm not trying to dig out Saeed for the Harry Beckham and only. I'm just saying in general, there's this romance just within, even in our club, about Harry Maguire. And the reality is, if we're all being hand on our heart honest, he just ain't good enough. No. We all keep going about Lindelof and get rid of him and have to play Bailly next to him. Like, really, what it is just he's not good enough. You know, I'm looking back here. So Pogba wins it. Shit header there from Maguire. Heads up there.
That's the one.
Awful there. He pulls back Luke Shaw there. Can't get to the ball. Pulls him down. Gets a deflected goal. Like, what are we doing? That Pogba's got it there. It's headed back to Maguire. It's awful. Pinball. That header there. It's shocking. Then he pulls his eye. He's pulling Luke Shaw's eye. He pulled him to the floor. You pulled him to the floor.
I didn't even spot that.
Like, what are you doing? Then you make you're never going to win that ball there. Never going to win it.
Wan-Bissaka, lazy. He should go with Son.
Then from here, Son's always going to score. He's a fantastic player. You know what I mean? But Harry Maguire, look at this, Mark. You're not going to win that ball. Stand up. You can't win it. Then stand on the ball. Stand on the ball.
Yeah.
I played the game. So I'm dropping my phone. I'm going fucking mad here. I played the Sunday League game last week, right? And they took a quick free kick. And they scored. And I was like, ref, and you got to play it on the whistle. They don't have to ask. And as for this piece of shit, Eric Lamela, he's elbowed him in the face. Look, bang. You've elbowed him in the face there. From where? He's not, all they're doing is talking. Elbowed him in the face. And he's giving him a little slap back. If you're going to give the red card to Martial, you have to give the red card to Eric Lamela, 10 against 10. That's all. Look, he's put his arm in it. Look, and then he goes down. Look at him holding his face.
And I tell you what, I know Spurs fans are going to win, and they'll be like, Eric Lamela's my boy. He has had no contact in his face, and he goes down. I tell you what, if I was Anthony Martial, I'd pick him up again and I'd drop him. I'd say that's a punch, you pussy. I mean, bloody hell. Talk about gamemanship. Argentinian again. Bloody Simeone all over a bloody again, isn't it?
Do you know what? And this. Even here as well, Eric Bailly tries to play out here.
This is. I mean, look, Eric Bailly's not the answer.
You're killing. Like, you can't even say anything to Matic. You're absolutely killing him there, giving it to him there, Eric Bailly.
Is he? All we said about Eric Bailly is he's quick. You know, that's it. But you know, people are like, genuinely, if Eric Bailly stays fit, he's the best centre back in the league. No. Ricky's right about Bailly. He's got loads of limitations, but at least he's got pace. But that's not helped us today.
Mark, I'm telling you now, right? We need. That feels so distant. Them replaying the fucking celebration of us there scoring the first goal. I'm telling you now, we need 2 new centre halves. It's never ever going to happen because what they're going to do with Harry Maguire, he's just come 85 million, he's captain. It's never going to happen. It's going to be stick by your man and all of that. He's not good enough. I don't care who you play next to him. I've seen enough. I'll just come out and say it. I've seen enough. He ain't good enough. We need 2 new centre halves. All right, we've got the left back situation sorted or whatever. Not that even Luke Shaw's that bad. We're going to end up needing the right back because, in my opinion, Wan-Bissaka's not good enough. Let's just say it as it is here. Let's just say it as it is.
Bullshit. I'll tell you what, though. I must say I'm a massive fan of Anthony Martial. He's let himself down.
He has let himself down. He's reacted.
Yeah.
You know, he's reacted.
If you're going to hit him properly. Because he doesn't even hardly hit him. He just does that. All he's done is that. It's literally like a little reaction. It's petulant. Hit him properly. You know, you're going to get a 3-game ban. You may as well whack him.
I don't want to go overboard here because this is hard to react to this, especially when you're live, especially when it's only half time. And this, I believe, is going to get worse. This is probably going to be 5, 6, 7. I don't know the way I feel right now.
Where do we sit on Ollie though? Because we're talking about Saïd.
This is what I'm saying. I think if we're not careful, this could be the beginning of the end.
I mean, if we're not saying Ollie out. He's got to take some responsibility. I thought
he's got to take some responsibility, Mark. You can't just keep saying the Glazers and that. That performance, what we're seeing, is not Ed Woodward's fault. It's not Joel Glazer's fault who's sitting in fucking California or wherever.
I'll tell you what it is. It's a weak mentality. It's a weak 100%. Mentality. Patrice Evra said this 2 hours ago. He said, "Why is Harry Maguire captain? He's only been there a year. It shows you what a lack of leaders they've got that Harry Maguire's got the captaincy. Harry Maguire's not the captain. I said he shouldn't be captain after Sevilla. Forget Greece. He shouldn't. He's not a captain, and this is the problem. As soon as we go a goal behind, they bottle it. There's no leaders on that pitch. Paul Pogba, he's only not being spoken about because there's 4 or 5 other players who've been absolutely disgraceful. But Pogba, get him off. Get Van der Beek on. Now is the time. Get Pogba out that team. If I was the coach, I'd take Pogba off. Not the worst player, but
I don't even think he's been that bad, Mark. I thought he was looking all right. He was getting involved early doors. If I'm being honest,
this is the problem with Paul Pogba for me. I think Bruno, Greenwood and Rashford are trying their arse off with no support. I think Matic is limited. We know that he's a good player, but he's limited. But Pogba, he should have the armband on. He should be galvanising that team, and he can't do it. And Wan-Bissaka as well. He just doesn't look anything like he did for the first 8 months of the season.
He ain't got no feet, man. Keep saying
Bailly and Maguire a joke. I mean, I don't even know if you could blame De Gea on any of the goals. You'd think 4 goals, maybe. I don't know.
Nah, it's nothing to do with De Gea. It's nothing to do. It's all of them people, all of them players on that pitch, and the coaching staff, like I tweeted, need to take a long, hard look at themselves. Take the Lamella thing away.
I want to get your point on Ollie. For me, very quickly, the only thing I would have done if I was Ollie is when it gets sent off at 2-1, it's over. We're not getting back, and I think he hesitated, thinking maybe we can get back in it, and then it's 4-1, and now it could be 8-1 or 6-1. I really think when the red card happens, get a defender on, get 5 at the back, 3 in the midfield, 1 up front, and just park the bus. And I know we wouldn't like that, but try and keep the score down because it's over. And I think he was just shell shocked, and he tried to stay in the game. But look, how many times has Luke Shaw ended up being 2v1 because Rashford's playing up front now? You know, the space is there, and they'll just keep exploiting the space. So I think Ollie was a little bit naive there. I think he should have done. But when we're 2-1 down, I don't blame Ollie. You can't blame tactics when individuals make stupid mistakes that League One defenders don't make.
Well, the problem is, look, it all goes back down to things like this. Well, you can't blame it. You can't blame the manager for individual mistakes because that's what to get us into the real shit was individual mistakes. Yeah, Maguire doing absolute breeze. I don't know what he's doing, and obviously Martial reacting like that. That's not Ollie's fault, but he sanctioned the deal. He wanted him in. He's the captain. He's put everything on him, and we've lauded this player and got this player in at 85 million to be amazing, and he's not. So
Yeah, but you know what? To be fair, everyone will say no, but when we bought him from Leicester, I expected a better player than this, and you can't
100%.
blame Ollie and Michael Carrick and everyone else for that. You can blame Woodward for
but not having an answer though. Not having an answer when there was 11 men on the pitch sometimes of how to stem the flow because it wasn't just individual mistakes. It was actually like it was like a basketball match. Like we didn't have why is he not coming out of the stands and running out and saying keep the ball for 5 minutes, stop this. This is end to end. It was carnage. It was so open. Like there was no one on the coaching staff is coming out of the touchline to say, let's get a hold of this. Paul, right, you come in here, sit here. Right, Bruno, I'll tell you what, drop off for 5-10 minutes. Let's just keep this football. This is too frantic. At 1-1, I'm saying. Yeah. No, it didn't happen. So you have to look at the tactics.
I think Ollie's at fault. I think
they're all. That's what I'm saying. Certain
players are more at fault. But what I will keep coming back to, and I don't normally tweet it, is Glazers out because I always said this. Everyone's like, we might do some business tomorrow. We've got Telles and Cavani tonight. Spurs have already done their business. Everton have done their business. Look at 100%. Everton have won 4 games in a row because they came into the season with momentum. We still haven't done our business, and it's our 3rd game, and it's a hard game. We've basically sacrificed 6 points. And look, apart from a last-minute penalty, we'd have 1 point. So yeah. I have to say that realistically, we've sacked so many managers. We've chewed up so many players. When you actually come down, and I know it takes a while, because some people are saying fair play for being a bit calm. I wasn't calm on the goals, as you've seen, but I have to try and calm down. When I calm down a little bit, I think, well, yeah, we can sack another manager. Yeah, we can get rid of some of these players, but we've been doing that for 8 years. At what point do we really realise the real problem with this club is the people who own it and run it? They're the ones who basically inflict this scenario on us, whether they're picking the right managers, the right players, whether their business in the summer is a joke or not. It does come down to them.
It does. It really does. I just... Oh, mate. Honestly, it's really hard. Van der Beek, he's not even... What they're doing. Is he saying you're coming on in 5 minutes or something? I don't know. He ain't coming on now. This is so hard whilst you're in it. Now half-time, but this is an absolute mess. I mean, Jose has come and absolutely before the mistakes, Mark. They made one mistake.
You said you don't like Mourinho, do you? You were like, I don't want this to happen to him. I mean, he must think it's his bloody birthday because I don't think Spurs have. I think McTominay and Fred, for fuck's sake.
Well, it's just to shore it up. It's just
not Van der Beek. I mean, come on. I mean, to be honest, I've got to come
I'll put Fred and Van der Beek and just play Van der Beek just off the front.
McTominay and Fred on instead of Van der Beek.
Oh, mate. Who's come off then? Who's come off?
Well, Pogba will be one.
Yeah.
One of the strikers, I suppose.
One of probably Greenwood. And then what? You got Greenwood. You got what?
I mean, look. To be fair though, he might be bringing McTominay on because he knows McTominay will put a tackle in.
Yeah, we need. Look, I don't see the problem in going defence. You need. Oh, and they're bringing Moura on as well. Look, because Jose knows a song gone off. He's injured. I don't know. It doesn't even matter. It's fucking 4-1, mate. Unbelievable. This. Unbelievable.
Well, you will be live afterwards with Ricky's fan cam, and also you're going to have that show where we will.
Lamella's gone off because he's fucking probably got a concussion. Prick.
Yeah.
Prick. Oh, God, mate.
Yeah, Lucas Moura for Lamella, which makes them better.
Exactly. I got nothing. I got nothing at this moment. Sorry, guys, for swearing and just I don't know. I got nothing, man.
So I think he took Matic off and.
Yeah, it's Matic and Pogba.
I don't know whether he took Bruno.
Fernandes has gone off. Yeah. Pogba's gone off as well.
No, Pogba's
there. Yeah, Fernandes and Matic.
That is a disgrace. That is a bloody disgrace.
Pogba's
Why would you take Bruno off?
Pogba's gone left midfield, and then all right, cool.
I don't even get those substitutions. It takes Bruno off,
mate. Again, but when people get onto Ollie, you can't. This is what I mean. You can't free him of all criticism, mate. You can't, and I won't let people do it. You have to talk up the thing properly, man. You have to say it as it is. There's some blame on Ollie. You can't. It's not all the Glazers.
No. I'm a firm believer that blame should be apportioned and not put onto one person. I mean, I think there's so many people to blame here. I think Martial's got to take some blame for the red card, and I think Maguire's got to take a lot of blame. The Glazers have got to take a massive amount of blame for sending us into a season ill-prepared again. But I've got to say that this substitutions at half time are just absolutely sickening. Why would you take Bruno Fernandes off and keep Paul Pogba on? Why would you bring Fred and McTominay on and not bring Van der Beek on? It's just madness, absolute madness. But you will have your say, of course. There's going to be a big show with KG and the guests in a bit, Flex.
Yeah. I'll see you guys then. Oh, here we go. Oh, mate, I'll see you then.
All right, mate. Speak to you in a bit.
Cool.
You can follow Twix. I keep calling him Twix. You can follow You can follow Flex on Twitter at FlexUTD. Let's have a look what people are saying in the comments. I don't want to say Ollie out, but he has no clue. Him and his coaching staff, Woodward, Glazers out, says Somi. Ollie's getting a 1 for taking off the only player who has a bit of pride. That was from Old King. Hey Mark, if United concede more, do you think Ollie might get sacked? Says Psalms. He's not getting sacked in a million years. I'm sat here and my wife's consoling me. Bloody depressing this, says Clayton Daniels. Why is Scott on? What the heck is where the heck is Donny? Says Luke Erasmus. Man, I'm crying. It hurts too much, man, says Vibor. Easy says, how can someone who's won nothing be captain of the club? It's a shambles. Why would Ollie take off Bruno? He had any chance was the one, says Core Metals. I think he's just, to be fair, I think he's just shutting up shop. It's just going to be defence against attack. Your 6-1 loss to Spurs is becoming a reality, says Matthew McKinley. And I think the subs are to rest Bruno, maybe keep Van der Beek rested because this game is over. We're not playing for 2 weeks, mate. Marco Gianni, that's it. We're not playing for 2 weeks. It's international break now. Why would you rest Van der Beek and Bruno? I'm absolutely stunned by the fact that he's took Bruno off. Maybe Ollie's sick of the management and doesn't care anymore. We know he loves the club as much as we do, says Rhea West. Jacob says, can't wait for them to announce Cavani and like everything is okay. We have a manager who doesn't have a way to play or the players he needs. Pep, Carlo, Jose have ways to play. Ollie doesn't. Jose wanted to get the players in, but the board didn't let him, says Kyle. Oh mate, let's not reminisce about a Mourinho. If you want to trip down memory lane, I'll give you a reality check. Mourinho embarrassed this football club 8 months before he got the sack against Sevilla home and away. Mourinho's football was shockingly shit. Like, let's not pretend because he's beating us here today that Mourinho was the great hope of Manchester United, because I'm not having that. I'm all for reality bites and I'm not happy with where this club is, but let's not pretend that the past was good under Mourinho, because it wasn't. It really wasn't. Martial out for Newcastle, Chelsea and PSG, says Vincent. The only single positive I can draw from this is that Rashford is genuinely giving it his all, says Tejas. And Glazers out, Woodward out, Ollie and this whole staff out. Maguire, I'm furious right now. Can't stand this anymore, says Dijon. And Martial suspended. Here we go, 5-1. Yeah, straight into the bottom corner. 5-1. Aurier on the overlap. Only had 5 minutes of the second half. He's got Paul Pogba playing left wing against Aurier, who's going to bomb forward and backwards. Paul Pogba, who should have been subbed at half time, but he took Bruno off. Keeping Paul Pogba on that pitch, asking him to do defensive work on the left-hand side, is suicide. It's basically like sending a bloody noisy, sociable grasshopper into a world full of frogs. Suicide. He's got no concept of tracking his man, Paul Pogba, and hasn't had it all game. They've been running off him all game. It was Ndembele in the first half, ran off Paul Pogba. And yet we've kept Paul Pogba on the pitch to do a defensive job, and within 5 minutes, Aurier scores a goal. 5-1. And that's why at half time, when I saw Pogba still on the pitch and Bruno off it, I was like, what is he doing? And within 5 minutes, it's come to pass. That goal is totally on Paul Pogba. It's a right back. I know we're down to 10 men, but it's a bloody right back. Track the runs. I mean, just... And I tell you what Mourinho will have said at half time, do not take your foot off the pedal. This is vindication for Jose Mourinho. Mourinho got sacked because of this manager. Do you think he's going to have any sympathy or mercy against Manchester United in this second half? He's going to go every minute of these 45 and he is going to try and get the biggest score ever. Because in his head he will be thinking, there is a God. There is a God. This club chewed me up and spat me out and embarrassed me, and I'm going to absolutely own it. He'll be turning around in a minute going like that to Woodward, and to be honest, I'll cheer him if he does. But, yeah, it's a total mismatch now. I'm not happy, people. Which is an understatement. You sort of move past... Well, you get to the point where if you continue to explode, you will explode and die. So you sort of have to find a calmness in the despair. And I just... Oh, here we go. Here we go. Idiot comment of the day. Joe Holdway. Is Luke Shaw even on the pitch? Tellez needed badly. Yeah, you've tactically assessed the problem spot on. The reason we're losing 5-1 is because we need Tellez at left back. If only we'd had Tellez, we'd be winning this game. Take your agenda and shove it up your arse. I mean, if you've got nothing intelligent to say, just don't say it. Today is not a day for agenda. Unless your agenda revolves around Harry Maguire, then realistically, this is a shambles from top to bottom. You know, there's probably 10 players you could have a go at, but if you really want to blame one player, and to be honest with you, we're getting to the point where I think there's a lot of things to blame about this game today. It certainly isn't on Luke Shaw's shoulders or Eric Bailly's shoulders or Aaron Wan-Bissaka's shoulders. There's one player who's been devastatingly awful today, and that's Harry Maguire. But I think we're moving beyond that now anyway. I really do. Let's see Xander and the other guy try to blame De Gea tonight. Ollie out tonight. This club is shambles. Glazers out. Woodcock out. Says Tajet to it. I think you mean Woodward. Thanks for the super chat, Visayas. We might get relegated with the defence, Mark, says Jordan. Watching this game like a horror film between two fingers, says Duke of Knowledge. The season is gone. Top 4 is probably not on now. We should at least try and do something as a fan base, surely. You know what? Jadon Sancho may not even want to come to United now. Be interesting to see what his appetite is. I mean, I know for a fact that he does want to come, but he might not want to come now. Maguire and Wan-Bissaka must be dropped. Bruno should be captain. If Ollie doesn't react and make these big decisions, he shouldn't be manager, says Vincent. Mark, your reaction when we sign Dembele tomorrow is going to be absolutely disgraceful, says Arpan. Would never have started Pogba. He's not fit. And why is Ollie stood with his hands in his pockets? It's embarrassing and defeatist, says Jonathan Matthews. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry, Mark, but everyone is to blame. The Glazers, the players, Ollie, get them all out, says Tom Veloso. And 5-1 and every player looks clueless and terrible. That is the manager's fault. Get this guy out of the club. Enough with Ollie in agendas. Yes, okay. I've decided to start No, I'm not reading that one. Sorry, Usman. You can't complain. You can't complain now because you weren't complaining when you magically won a penalty after the full-time whistle, says Keenan. Idiot. Idiot alert there. And you're writing capital letters. And we might get relegated with this defence. I've done that. Okay. Mark, which of our players are good enough for Man United, says Gray B? Well, to be honest, the thing is, Gray, they were all good enough 3 months ago, and you were all lauding them 3 months ago. You know, you've got to have. I totally get the frustration. I do, and we live in the now. We don't live in the yesterday. We don't live 2 months ago. We live in the now. I totally get the frustration, but let's not be totally irrational in our frustration. Which of these players are good enough for United? Well, most of these players were good enough to get us third place in the league. So a vast majority of them are just not playing particularly well. But the biggest issue for me is that there's been no injection of positivity or ambition into this squad through the whole summer. Spurs have bought 5 or 6 players in. I think Everton have done roughly the same. Arsenal probably bought 3 players in. Liverpool 2 good players in. Chelsea 6-7 players in. So lots of teams have rejuvenated and used the summer to rebuild. We haven't. I've been on about this on stream after stream after stream. And whether Cavani and Tellez come in tonight, which they're meant to, are they really players that are going to solve the problems of this team? No, they're not. You know, Luke Shaw is not the reason we're 5-1 down. Tellez might give us a little bit more going forward, but he won't stop Harry Maguire tackling him and conceding the first goal. You know, Cavani might do a decent job, but Martial did a decent job last year. So they're just squad players. You've got to, the thing we haven't done this summer is improve the first team. Van der Beek, I don't even know why he's not on the pitch. We are a mess because we haven't improved the first team. When we came into this summer transfer window, everyone said we need a right winger and a centre-back. We still have neither. And the transfer window closes tomorrow. So what's the difference between this side that finished the season well and finished third and is now going to be in the bottom 3? The difference is that there is no improvement in the team at all. And it's saddening. It's saddening, of course it is. We will be doing player ratings. That's going to be fun. You can vote for the player ratings on the website when that opens in about 15 minutes. I reckon Bruno got subbed off because he was angry and showed passion at half-time. He's easily a best player. Who gives a damn? Ollie out surely, says Gunnar Station. Bruno must have went mad at Maguire in the dressing room and Ollie pulled him, says Mark Whitten. Did we get carried away last season after losing 3 semi-finals and got third after Leicester capitulated, says Karam Singh. Mark, the only positive from this rubbish is the board may now panic and we could be very active tomorrow, or I am hopeful nothing will change, as Andrew. No, but the board have already been active, haven't they? They've got Cavani and Telles. They'll think they'll make a big difference. They have competition within their teams, this improving their players. We have the same squad and no competition with the squad and improves players. Exactly. I mean, I think that's what I was trying to say badly, is that there's no competition in the squad. So the same old status quo. I mean, look, Paul Pogba's played 3 games in a row badly. And it's not a Paul Pogba witch hunt here. But what I'm saying is that he shouldn't be playing games. And even with Van der Beek in the team, he's not getting dropped. The club is dead, to paraphrase Young Guns. Advice as report that sometime later and Alex Ferguson snuck into the graveyard and chiseled an inscription. The epitaph read, 1 word pals. Says 3-minute record events. Hopefully Cavani sods off after this result. Woodward out, Glazers out. Says Mr. Pip. Honestly, I can't remember Smalling being this bad. Why they haven't got him back into the squad is beyond me, says Ninja Smurf United. Ollie's comments in the press will haunt him. He said we're doing good business, so that's on him, says Finis King. I see people already going in on Ollie. Please don't lose focus. This is on the board. Same with Moyes, Van Hal and Mourinho and whatever. Ollie, wake up, people, says Green Grits. Reece Hackney, simple as Mark. They've reverted back to what there was before. Bruno managed to bring him in fuming, says Reece Hackney. I can't read that, mate. You've got so many things there. Welcome to the Members Club, Rohan Anthony. Mark, why was Bruno subbed? What's wrong with here? Is Ollie to be blamed, says Rohit. Maguire needs to fix up or leave and needs to be dropped for the foreseeable future, says Edward Walters. And De Gea shouldn't get too much blame. He might have had some bad moments, but he can't control the stupid act. You know what, Iffy? I just think because we've conceded 5 goals, you'd look at the goalkeeper. But I actually agree. I don't think Dean Henderson does any better. I think that the mistakes there are there to see, aren't they? So. Stephen Wong says, everyone saying these players are not good enough for United. United is not the same as before. Time to realise we're not a top team anymore. Thanks for the contribution, David Harris. Mark, when will you give Ollie his portion of the blame, says Iatami. Well, maybe if you watch the last half an hour, or in fact probably the last 40 minutes, you might want to go and have a hearing test tomorrow, because I've openly said Ollie's got to take criticism. What did I say when the subs at half time? You know, I know people like to make up little agendas, but you're not listening if you think I'm not putting any of the blame on Ollie. I'm not Ollie out. I think that's bloody stupid. I don't think it solves any problems, but look, he's made some bad decisions today, definitely. I don't understand why Donny van der Beek didn't come on at half time. He's one of our better players. He's £35 million and you bring Fred and McTominay on. Good play by Fred. Go on. You can't do it all. Everyone's saying I've read that one. Going to watch our highlights from 98-99 to cheer me up, says Keep Metal Alive. And you're saying Pogba shouldn't be playing something I 100% agree with. That is bad decision on Ollie's clueless. Ollie out isn't an agenda, says Jack Jones. Well, I think it is. I think it is an agenda. It's my opinion. I can say what I bloody well like, just like you can there. I think Eric Bay's got a yellow card here for a foul on Son. It's a silly yellow card because he literally just pushes him in the back. I don't want to look at Anthony Taylor ever again. I pity any football club who has Anthony Taylor as a referee. I'd totally forgotten about the FA Cup. It wasn't even Man United in the FA Cup final. I've never seen a refereeing performance. And nothing against Arsenal. I said it at the day. Arsenal against Chelsea in that FA Cup final. I've never seen such a one-sided crap refereeing performance in my life. And then we've got the twats here today. we've deserved to lose this game. There's no argument with me from that at all. But the decision that basically made the game impossible for us to come back to was when we went down to 10 men at 2-1 down. And there's no way on God's earth that Lamela shouldn't have got a red as well. And Anthony Taylor will just be lauded by the Premier League again. Oh, we love Anthony. He does a great job. Yeah, you let him fuck an FA Cup final up, and now he's ruined this game for us. And I'm not saying Spurs wouldn't have won. You know, I'll take it on the chin when we lose. I won't like it, but I'll take it on the chin when we lose. And Spurs, I said Spurs have looked very good this week. And we would have to be at it to win the game. And unfortunately, you know, we'll never know how at it we were. But we weren't at it defensively, and then we got the red card. We play Newcastle next, who drew with Tottenham 1-1. Says Chuba. I'm not bothered about that, mate. Look, we'll play Newcastle with 11 players. You know, we might have Jadon Sancho by then. We might sign... Well, we might get Ousmane Dembele, who everyone seems to think is the next Messi. So, we'll have 11 players on the pitch against Newcastle. You know, that's by the by. We would not have lost to Tottenham 5-1 if we'd had 11 players on the pitch. I think we still would have lost, but we would not have lost 5-1. So, I'm not going to start getting all sensationally concerned about, we got Newcastle and they drew with Spurs. You're saying Pogba shouldn't be playing something... I've read that one. Okay. I think what the Black Amora says, red card played a big part, but we deserve to lose. Exactly. I think that's my stance on this. Yeah. And I think when you go down to, you know, I've got to say that as well. I'll keep it back for the match reaction. When you go down to 10 men at 2-1, it's not an excuse to then lose 5-1. I've seen teams go down to 10 men and win games. So, you know, going down to 10 men is a tactical issue. We really could have looked at it in a different way, but you know, we didn't. So Van der Beek's coming on now, probably a little bit too late to be honest, but he is going to come on. Should be for Pogba. Mark, I'm concerned for your health. Please stay off social media tonight as the vultures are circling and baying for your blood. Pray for Mark, says Andrew C. Me? What's it got to do with me? Honestly, ask yourself which players have improved this backroom staff. Carrick and McKenna are overhyped. Look at the effect Arteta leaving City has had on them. Coach team needs changing, says Kieran. You thought the match ratings versus Palace was bad. Today will be worse, says Lee Taylor. It's very... I mean, what I would say is when you're doing your player ratings, and it's totally up to you, if 6 out of 10 is average, can you really give Mason Greenwood and Marcus Rashford anything lower than a 6? It's not their fault. They've actually not done anything. There's a bit of an incident here. This game is all on Maguire. Once Spurs saw he went up for it, if they turned up and went as we folded. Maguire and Wan-Bissaka should be benched, says Chris Granthwell. What is wrong here? Are we just bad, or is there a deeper issue here? I just can't see what our clear path is. That's from Mark Slade. And damage control by bringing McTominay in. What club are we? Any passionate team would give it all with their back against the wall. We don't have the ball, says Daniel Ansari. And do you think that this team is good enough for 4th, even with Sancho? We're finished this year. Defence is useless. Maguire is a waste man. Respect you, Mark. Yeah, I think defence over Sancho doesn't really, you know, make a difference, isn't it? You know, you are going to struggle to win games if you can't defend. I thought in this game we gave ourselves a chance. there is an agenda against Pogba, but it's hard to argue that he's played with all heart for United. Should be moved on. No matter how good he is, you need to be put in effort to match quality, and he sets a bad example. Says Daniel. So I like Paul Pogba. I really do like Paul Pogba, but I just expect more from Paul Pogba in a game like this, because you can't judge Paul Pogba on Matic or McTominay or Fred or Greenwood levels, because Paul Pogba's a player who's 27 and is one of the best midfielders in the world on his day, and he should have more of those days. This will hurt Ollie more than anyone else. I trust him to hammer it home to these players and hope this will be a turning point, says Julian. And Adet Betnaga says Matic and Pogba hasn't helped the defence as well. Son was running in the park. Maguire crap. United Bay not on his toes. Wan-Bissaka absent from right back, says Adet. Every goal they scored came from a defensive mistake. Our front looked good before the red, says Ninja Smurf United. I agree. I thought we were doing well up until the red. I did. You know, the penalty was not a lucky penalty. It came from a good run by Martial and a lovely pass by Bruno. Rashford nearly got in because of a good pass from Bruno. Last season we believed the defence had improved because our style of football was sit back and attack. Now Ollie's trying to play attacking football and we're seeing the true defence we have, says Timothy Frank. Got a feeling Bruno had a go at everyone, including Solskjaer at half-time. Once we lose Bruno, we're done, says Sean Thornton. Is it bad that I've given up on this club? So much pain and sleepless nights with nothing to show for it, says Sean Thornton. Well, I don't believe you can give up on your club. Mark, I was pissed with you when you celebrated mediocrity the last game. Now you finally see that these wasters will continue to leave us down, says Brian Murphy. No, mate, I celebrated Manchester United winning a game of football. I don't apologise for that. We say it's not the manager's fault, but I don't remember it being this bad under Jose. Ollie out, says Kean Brady. I can probably give you about 10, 15 results worse than this under Jose. This results because of the red card. We were probably going to lose it, but we're losing 5-1 because of the red card. You know, we were down to 10 men after 25 minutes. Hi, Mark. We focused too much on Sancho and not on the much-needed rebuild, says Kevin Latham. I think Ollie only resting players he's happy with. Defensive coach needs to be fired, says Ollie Morton. And I feel no emotion anymore. Feel like Stephen Hawking from the waist down, says Jack Ferguson. Can you see a centre coming in now, says Philip Burtonwood. No. United haven't got the time to go and do a centre-back deal now. We've only got 24 hours left. You can't do a deal for a centre-back with 24 hours left. You can only work on the deals that you're already working on. Tottenham got most of their transfer business done early and have settled sides, says Vincent McDonnell, and that is the key. And feels sick to the stomach. Here's Harry Kane. Good save by De Gea there. I don't know where Harry Maguire is, because we know Harry Maguire is meant to be marking Harry Kane. Fred with a shit ball, and Spurs charging through the middle. Harry Maguire way out of position, and a free shot for Harry Kane, and it's a good save by De Gea. Feels sick to the stomach. The fans really need to turn now and force them out, because everyone goes in the shell when we buy players and thinks everything is good. Imagine if fans were there, it would be toxic. I want Ed out, says Ryan Foster. This club isn't another Leeds, mark my words, says Atul Pandey. No tactics, just vibes, says Barry. And this club is starting to resemble Arsenal in so many ways. Weak mentality, bad defence, always in transition, says Ace. Corner comes in and Eric Dyer wins it. I mean, it's a mismatch there, Eric Dyer against Fred, to be honest with you. 72 minutes gone. Please subscribe if you're new, by the way. We have got... I feel like doing this tomorrow, like I feel having, hemorrhoids. It's going to be painful, but tomorrow is another day. We're basically going to be live for most of the day tomorrow, transfer deadline day. I've got absolutely zero appetite for doing it, but tomorrow is another day, and I know that we are working on a Jadon Sancho deal, but... I mean, to me, that is an irrelevance at the moment. But, yeah, we will be doing that. So subscribe if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. We've also got the fan cams coming in after the game. It's going to be interesting to see what people have got to say on that. Bottom right-hand corner, please subscribe. We're only 300 away from 859,000, so please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We've also got my match reaction straight after the game. You can do your player ratings now on the UnitedStand.com. It's open, theunitedstand.com. I'll drop the link in the video description in a minute. You can mark all players out of 10. 6 is average. Mark your players out of 10. Vote, put a star next to your man of the match, and then submit your score. And then when it does that, all your votes will go into an aggregation that when I do my player ratings on the match reaction and I give you my score, yours will come up. And therefore, we have got the most accurate Manchester United player rating system in Manchester United football, because it's you who votes for them. So you can do that through the UnitedStand.com. Please subscribe if you're new. We're only 10 off 859,000 now. So thanks everyone who's subscribing. And then after my match reaction, we've got the hour and a half with Flex and KG and guests talking about transfers, talking about this shambles as well. So lots and lots of discussion to come off after this shit show of a game. Which, to be honest, that's what it has been, isn't it? It's been absolutely horrendous. And I think if we can get away with 5-1, you can never say that's a result. But if we can get away with 5-1, it could have been 10. There's been times today I thought it could have been 10, so... you know what? I don't know what you people are like, but I just hate being right when it's something negative, and I have said this a lot. You know, for people who watch the show, and we discuss this a lot. You know, we're live every night at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning doing the transfer shows, and it's been said numerous times. You can't go into a season not prepared, and we've come into a season not prepared, and we're paying the price for it. Everyone trying to say Pogba shouldn't be playing, but Maguire plays every game just because he cost 80 million, says Harrison Sunar. I want Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, or any billionaire to buy this club. We need to tweet them, says Ryan Foster. Let's get Sancho, Cavani and Telles in ASAP so we can secure that 6th place, says Fred Meyer. Realistic changes outside of transfers we could make. Well, you know, it's the structure of the club needs to change. You need a director of football. That's what we need. Into Harry Kane. So Pogba did come off for Van der Beek, didn't he? Here's Rashford. I mean, scraps, really. Really scraps. If this is how we play, Sancho might hide in a bunker for the next 24 hours, says Akil. I resisted so far, but if Maguire starts ahead of Lindelof next game, I will jump into Ollie out train. Enough is enough with this fridge, says Tejas. And welcome to the members club, Drov Jane. I mean, look, we are in a race for top 4 now. That's our season, top 4. Sad to say it after 3 games, but look, even if we'd had the perfect transfer window, even if we'd bought the centre-back that we need and we'd got Jadon Sancho in early and we'd started off with 3 wins against Spurs and Brighton and Palace, which we haven't, obviously. Even if we had, we would not have... And Pogba is still on the pitch. Stunning. He is on the pitch. I thought he took him off. Wan-Bissaka's out of position again. Oh my God. He's just giving a penalty away. He's cost us 2 goals. Absolute. Well, you know, Pogba's there having a good old smile. He's cost us 2 goals in this game. At what? I mean, I like Pogba. I've got nothing against Pogba, but I said he should have come off at half time. I said he had a bad first half. And he's cost us 2 goals. Like, both the goals in this second half. And, you know, people like Fred and McTominay have actually worked really hard. But he's cost us both goals in this second half. So, you know, the Pogba fan club, and a lot of the Pogba fan club will be Ollie outers. And just the same as the Harry Maguire fan club, they're Ollie outers. But you've got to step up to the plate and say that there's a collective problem here. And Harry Maguire makes it 6-1. Lovely penalty. Past De Gea. He goes the right way. He just can't get near it. But Paul Pogba's at fault for that. Totally and utterly at fault for that. There's no... It's a reckless slide tackle. There's a mentality issue at Manchester United. Like, the tackles that are going in the box there, it just sends the wrong message. It's a weak mentality. It's a petulance. It's a lack of discipline. He just slides into a tackle 10 weeks too late. It's disgusting from somebody of Paul Pogba's, level of ability. He's won a World Cup. He's been in a dressing room telling everybody what to do. Why at Manchester United are you doing stuff like that? And look at Mourinho, he's loving it. He's loving it. And why wouldn't he? I've got no problem with it. Shocking. Shocking from Manchester United. And some shocking decisions from Ollie. And, some shocking individual performances from some of these players as well. But if you can bring yourself back to watch this game, you watch Paul Pogba's performance in the first half. He should have come off and Bruno should have stayed on. And then in the second half, he doesn't track the Aurier run, 5-1, and then he slides into a silly tackle penalty, 6-1. He's almost putting himself into the Harry Maguire club now, because Harry Maguire's been at fault for... Well, Harry Maguire's been at fault for 3 goals, to be fair. But, what is that the competition now? Who can be at fault for the most goals? 6-1. Just park the bus. Like, literally just park the bus. Do not concede another goal. 7-1, they could get another 2 here. McTominay, terrible ball. I mean, Van der Beek's come on and you've got a feel for him. Ed Woodward on his phone. Clueless, mate. You should be sacked. One thing's for sure, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will not be sacked after this game. Whether you want him to, whether you think it should be the case, I obviously don't, but that will not happen today. But one thing you can definitely say about today is that he will be under immense pressure in October when you're playing teams like PSG and Chelsea and Arsenal, who, whatever you think about those clubs, they are suddenly very much teams we aspire to, because they've got a lot more points than us already. If we lose to Chelsea and Arsenal in October, they will probably by that stage be 12, 15 points ahead of us. So, the issues are huge for Manchester United, and they're going to have to improve very, very quickly. Very, very quickly indeed. Nitin says, the only difference between the red card for Martial and Lamela was the reaction. If Martial would have reacted, Lamela would have got the red. Yeah, I agree with you, Nitin, but, it's long gone now. We've got to move on from that. It's long gone. Unfortunately. Corner for Man United. And the thing that hurts the most about these games, of course, is that you have to wait until forever for the... Because we've got the international break now, haven't we? So it's ages until we play a game. Yes, you can vote. I'm just sorting out. That's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm just sorting out, putting the link in the video description for you, so you can go and do the player ratings. But or you can just do it yourself. You can just go to unitedstand.com. So if you are going to do it, we will cover that on the match reaction, player ratings. That's going to be fun. You can also give Ollie a rating on that as well. Make sure you mark every... Oh, Luke Shaw's going to get a yellow there. He just chopped Lucas Moura. yeah, Luke Shaw, whatever you say about that, it could have been a red. No, it shouldn't be a red. Yellow card. Even Jose said yellow card. Yeah, so I've dropped the link in the video description to do your player ratings. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being average. Every player, you've got to give them a mark, and you've also got to put a star next to your man of the match. Good luck with that. When you've done that, it will say submit your score at the bottom. Submit your score, then it will go into all of the thousands of other voters, and then when we do the match reaction with me, I'll give my player ratings, yours will come up, and the more people have voted, we had 10,000 for the last game, it will aggregate the score, so that'll be quite interesting to see what you all think about that. But, yeah, 5 minutes to go. Do you think the game would have been any different with Lindelof playing? Just as a question, do you think it would have been any different? Because I think that I don't. That's my answer. I don't. We've had 1.3 thousand people voting already. TheUnitedStand.com to do it. I've dropped the link in the video description for you, so you can just go straight to the correct page. Players who probably don't deserve a bad score, probably people like David De Gea and Mason Greenwood and Marcus Rashford. We strive for excellent, but if we fail, we might just settle for perfection. Sir Matt Busby says Baheen. This is an absolutely disgrace, shambolic performance. Take the wages for the week and give it to charity. This has been horrendous. Suspect 888. Mark, what's worse, this game where Aurier scored and we made him look like prime Cafu, or the 6-1 that City beat us? This is worse than the City game, mate, because we were trying to get back into the game for that. I'm sorry, but Ollie isn't the manager who can lead United to being the Premier League champions again, says Greg Priest. I think that statement's probably the wrong statement, though, Greg. There is no manager that can make Man United be Premier League champions. I think that expectation needs to disappear. I've said it before. Klopp or Pep can't make this team win the title, and he wouldn't get the backing to win it. So I think those sort of statements are not the right statements. And if you are somebody who makes that statement, then maybe you need to be looking at the board more, because this team cannot be managed by any manager, and it will not get the backing either. So I think that's a little bit wrong in many ways. Mark, if Ollie doesn't stop dropping the big names who are clearly playing poorly when he really does have to start answering for it, Sir Alex did it, says Robbie FM. I can't remember when we scored 6 goals in recent years. Very hard to watch. Only guy who can get the league is by sacking the board. I know you're down to 10 men, but Christ, Reguilon has pocketed Rashford this match, says Jake. I haven't actually. Jack, sorry. I've not noticed that, Jack, to be honest. It all starts with Martial's red card. As a professional, you have to keep your composure. The refs never see the first hit, only the second, says Nick. Yeah, but that's not an excuse, is it? That's what VAR is for. You know, if we didn't have VAR, then I would totally agree with you. And I do agree with you that Martial shouldn't have done it. But there's no excuse for the referee not to go and review it. He gave a yellow card for the first one. So, you know, the instigator should always be the person who is who gets more of a blame. But look, the reality is that there's a bigger picture here, and in some ways, this result isn't a wake-up call. It's a reality. We've been flirting around this sort of result for probably 6 years at this football club, maybe even 8. United have been, you know, primed to be battered for a very long time. The last time we got beat like this was Sir Alex Ferguson against Manchester City, and that was a pivotal moment, and we were down to 10 men. But we lost that game going into stoppage time, and I think it was 3-1, and we conceded 2 or 3 in extra time, in stoppage time, because that was a battle to try and win the title. We still finished second in the league. We lost it on that Aguero moment. So you can't compare that 6-1 to this one, because that was we tried to win a game that was important in part of a title race. This puts us God knows where. The contrast between that 6-1 and this 6-1 is huge. And the point here is that, we start with the players on the pitch, because that's where it always comes down to. And there is a total lack of mentality in that football pitch. There is no leaders. And that can only be measured by Harry Maguire. He wears the captain's armband. He couldn't lead a pack of ants to a picnic. He's rubbish. Absolute rubbish mentality. And the mistakes he's been making for the last 3 months. And let's not give him Greece as an excuse. He was making these mistakes at home to Bournemouth in the summer, away to Spurs, where Bergwijn just ran through him. Harry Maguire's been badly performing in a Manchester United shirt for a long time. You do have to ask the manager, one, why he's being picked, and two, why he's the captain of this team. Because look, any leadership, whether it's your job, whether it's your local football team, any leadership is inspiring. Roy Keane inspired teams. John Terry inspired Chelsea. Gerrard inspired Liverpool. Harry Maguire does not inspire this football team. He's a representation of his manager, and unfortunately this exposes us to big issues. So the players lack mentality, they lack leadership. The manager is clearly inexperienced, and we bought into that when he got the job. And whether you want to give him time or not, I do. But when you put together a team that's got no leadership and no characters, and when you put a manager who needs time and is learning on the job, and then you combine that with a board that's only interested in money, and a CEO and negotiation team that belongs in a bank, you should be going in tomorrow morning to speak to them to take money out your bank account, not running Manchester United Football Club. From top to bottom, the club is broken. And where you apportion your blame tonight in your justifiable anger really is hard, because it's top to bottom, every area. But to be honest with you, you should start at the top and work down. These owners bought this club in debt. They've infected this club for a long time. We are still in debt, and all they really want is your money. Ed Woodward helps them do that. He's not a football man. He's not got any intelligence about football, and he helps them do that. We are not run like a football club. We are run like a business. And this today, regardless of Anthony Taylor and Harry Maguire and Paul Pogba, who was at fault for 2 goals as well, this today basically epitomises the last 8 years. When you are run by people who don't care and just want your money and have got no knowledge, then this today is long overdue. So you can be Ollie out, you can blame Harry Maguire, you can blame Paul Pogba, and on this very game, maybe all 3 of them are massively, massively culpable. But the bigger picture is you can sack another manager, you can get rid of more players, you can buy more players, but when the people making those decisions about managers and players are still at the club, nothing's going to change. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new, by the way, bottom right hand corner. We may as well try and get some positive from it. So let's have a look. We're 300 away from 860,000. So please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. We've got a full day stream for the transfer deadline tomorrow, which, to be honest with you, I cannot be arsed with, but we will do. Match reaction is underneath here. We will be live in about 2 minutes time doing that. And also then after that, we've got Flex KG with guests and you discussing the wider picture of transfers and what's going to happen at the club in the future. But this game has been an embarrassment, of course. Make sure you do your player ratings as well, because on my match reaction, I'm going to be going through my player ratings and also we'll compare them to yours. So theunitedstand.com, or I've dropped a link in the video description for that. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being average, and then it will aggregate your scores against mine. It's 6-1. It says 6-1 on Sky Sports. It says 6-1 on here. It's not 7-1. Here, the final whistle is about to happen. It's going to be interesting to see. Mourinho's going to absolutely love this, and why wouldn't he? And look, fair play to Spurs. I've got no ill will against Spurs. Lamella, yeah, I have. But other than that, Spurs are a very good team. Mourinho has got them playing very well. Levy's done a fantastic job. Banter, whatever. I ain't got time for banter. I ain't got time for bloody arguments with Spurs fans. You've won the game. Well done. Looks like you're going to have a good season. And Craig says, I'm on the verge of tears, Mark. It feels like I have cancer and there's nothing I can do to stop it. I'm at a complete loss. it's horrible, mate. It's horrible, isn't it? But the problem for me is that this football club is miles away from where it needs to be. And look, my match reaction, I will go in because it's a match reaction, and you've got to go for it in those first couple of minutes and say what you really think. But I hope Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has a word with Anthony Taylor, because I think he's a disgrace as a referee. But the whole team needs to stand up, and some of the substitutions were a joke. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is saying, at the end of the day, you've got that wrong. He's talking to him there. And I think Ollie is saying to the referee exactly what we're all saying, is that should never have been a red card. Lamela should have got a red card, but and anyone who's saying Ollie's smiling, I've watched Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for many years. There's no way he's smiling. He's bloody fuming inside. But look, what I would say is maybe Bruno Fernandes got subbed off because he's actually gone in on all the players and he's been took out of the firing line. I don't know. Anyway, link in the video description. We'll cover all this on the match reaction. You can do your votes on theunitedstand.com. I'll see you over there in a minute or so. Link in the video description, and we'll digest all this mess at Manchester United. See you in a minute. Link in the video description, match reaction.